Welcome everyone to episode 13 of Rivals and Rants. We have another caster roundtable here, some fellow faces that you saw during the Ignite broadcast this past season in 2025, the first year of Marvel Rivals Esports, and we have some of the first casters of it, Tetcher, Liger, and that one, Dan. Gentlemen, I want a very quick hot take on what your thoughts are for season 5.5, starting with Dan.
I think Rogue isn't as strong as people thought it would be. That's my first take. I'll put it at that.
You could just keep it at
there.
one for now. So Rogue not as good as people thought. I agree. It's a pretty easy one to say. I'd say lukewarm at best for the most part, but hey.
Yeah.
Liger, anything on your mind in terms of hot takes for season 5.5?
Rogue's broken and she's anti-flyer and you're all bad. That's what, okay?
Okay. There we go.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. All right,
I mean,
all right.
She can fly.
Okay.
She can fly a little bit there, like hover for a bit afterwards and chase people down as best as she can. She's got to use a lot of abilities for it, so it's harder to get out of dodge afterwards. But Tetcher, I mean, Rogue's been themed. Do you have something Rogue themed? Do you have something outside of Rogue for 5.5?
Rogue's just fine. Ultron, on the other hand, Clanker mains are eating great. Rogue's fine.
Okay. I respect
there are other things that are not fine.
Yeah. We'll get into all that action. But this is another episode of Rivals and Rants. We wanted to wait a little bit till season 5.5 had gone through the motions of the discovery phase and then the people ranting about it online. And now we kind of know people's thoughts about all the heroes, all the action. And we had MRC start this past weekend. So we'll be going through some of the roster changes, or I guess pickup teams that you'll be seeing and to keep an eye on for this season 5 of Marvel Rivals Championship. Also, Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone were announced at the Game Awards. That happened in the meantime too, and some patch notes dropped that people had some good things to say about them and some bad things too. Luna's got a new ability. It's pretty cool. We'll be breaking that all down. But let's first get into Rogue specifically. And that's kind of why I was wanting some of those opinions on season 5.5, because Rogue was announced this season. We got to see, the hero trailers come through. There was some speculation on exactly what role they would have, but Vanguard mains rejoice. It is a Vanguard for Rogue if you are looking to play this hero. And I mean, the main thing I think a lot of people were thinking when they saw this trailer initially, Dan, is that this character is just going to be the most busted thing ever. But I think the big thing too is that a lot of the heroes in this trailer also just didn't try to use their abilities to escape, right? And had a lot more options that they could use to counter Rogue, where this is just showing off the pure terror of this hero.
Rogue is one of the more mobile Vanguards. Like almost every ability has some sort of dash tied into it, but those cooldowns are long. They're all except for maybe the right click dash. Other than that, all the cooldowns are 10 plus seconds. Like even the ability absorption, that's go up to 25 seconds at times. It's a matter of resource management. I feel like just making sure when you want to use certain abilities at certain times. And I think that part is where the skill expression is. But that's just my personal take on how this character has been throughout this entire season so far. But give it time, we might get something like the Angela treatment, where Angela was not the hottest at the start. But
Liger, you said a bit different. You said Rogue is super busted. Why do you think Rogue is busted and an anti-flyer Vanguard?
Listen. I come from fighter genre past in my life. Probably played a certain Nintendo title since the day I was born. Listen. She has 8 to 9 different forms of way of doing damage, different abilities, different attacks on top of that. Once you learn that you can actually animation cancel practically everything in her kit, you can weave everything, and you don't even feel the cooldowns. I generally don't even feel the cooldowns. The only one that I actually have to resource manage is the power steal. 100%, that makes sense. But that in itself is the most broken thing ever, because you put people through an animation. You're chucking them in a cinematic. And you are also grounding flyers. You ground flyers better than Thing does, which is insane. And it's a command grab, and it's massive hitbox. Guaranteed you're going to hit them no matter what, as long as you're aiming it directly at them. How do you fly up there? You literally have the up kick, which means you get up fast, and then you have temporary flight, which is insane.
Yeah,
and when you go into temporary flight, you also have the kicks. Yeah, that when you have those roundhouse kicks, you literally hit both of them on an Ultron and then send him down to the ground. And while you're in animation, yo, team, get this guy. Yo, jump this fool. She's great because she actually encourages team synergy and pushing forward, which is why I'm so happy she's a Vanguard as well. That's my playstyle. She's honestly everything I wish Iron Fist was on release. That's what hurts most about it.
That is so valid.
I wish. Yeah, that is a fair point. Yeah,
that is everything I wanted from Iron Fist. Like the fact that he's just punching and he's no combos. He's like, I don't know, but I've said enough. She's awesome.
That's valid. Tetcher, you said, kind of a lukewarm take for Rogue here specifically. So tell us a little bit about, your Ultron thoughts there. They have 2 drones now. We'll get a little bit more into the patch notes about that, but it's pretty good.
So I actually do want to jump in on Rogue for a little bit, if that's all right,
that's
because we brought up some good points on that, but I feel like it's all about the compositions and the actual strategies that she's played in. She makes some characters basically useless. Adam Warlock is suddenly way weaker when a Rogue is in the game, because one, she's able to lower his ultimate charge when it's one of the most impactful and long-charging ultimates in the game, can be very difficult, and also she steals Soul Bond as a good example, meaning that, against someone like an Adam, for example, she's very good. She's also, I think, going to be, my prediction, very good on siege breaks on convoy, say for example a Midtown, because she breaks sieges quite well, because she displaces everyone, she pulls everyone together, meaning when she's comboed with something like a Moon Knight that we see as a siege breaker pretty often, she's going to be extremely useful because that creates a lot of AoE, potentially even a Storm Moon Knight for pulling people into a Omega Hurricane. So I feel like she's going to be very strong in those kind of compositions, but as Dan mentioned, the cooldowns are long, meaning on these longer pushes or longer drawn out fights, she can be a little weaker, but you can get pinged from a distance a little easier. So there is very much swings and roundabouts of what compositions you play her with and who she's against. I think she's going to be definitely picked, but potentially a little bit more situational, unless the players have something spicy like we mentioned with the pull in to bring some actual combos together. Ultron, on the other hand, as I mentioned before, is actually just very good because you've already rebuffed Torch a little bit, but now you've set yourself up that the backline, you could just put one drone on the backline to keep them constantly healed, and then one on the front line. If you have a flyer, one on the front line, and one on the other flyer, and Ultra just hangs out near them, like what we used to see with the Human Torch Ultra compositions from teams like Citadel, where they just kind of hung out in the sky and just got healed forever. It's not great healing these days, as we already mentioned, but the fact that it's constant, that you don't have to pay much attention to it, and you can just target focus shields and focus on being a damage dealer, is going to, I think, make Ultron definitely played.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a lot more Ultron. We've even seen people using it in those 2 support compositions if they have the right hero with them. So the stonks are rising for those Ultron mains out there is the big thing to note there as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about meta and the changes for that, specifically, Rogue joining the roster. Pretty great to see. I think this is a really cool hero to have alongside the other ones out there. I think there's some cool potential synergy with having Emma as well, so you can just go in towards the back line, shift to the diamond form, take care of business that way, and do some good work. But also making sure you target those vanguards so they have less HP, right? Or targeting the duelists so that they don't have as much damage that they're doing for 10 seconds. It's very effective to shut down one specific player who might be doing really well.
I forgot to mention something on Rogue. Rogue Emma compositions are going to be toxic AF. Just double grabs and flips is just going to make Vanguard Getting double suplexed is miserable, basically. If you get engaged on by an Emma, then suplexed with the Diamond Former, and then suplexed by a Rogue, who then might be able to, if you're playing Emma yourself, could then steal your Diamond Form and suplex you again. You could get triple suplexed if you're playing Emma, double if it's Mag. It's hard being a Vanguard in that combo. That could be difficult.
It doesn't sound fun is the main thing there. But what is fun is that we had a new announcement at the Game Awards. Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone. Deadpool specifically announced to be coming first to the roster is massive. So we'll just play the little animation muted in the background there specifically. But yeah, it's really cool. They're already in the game technically. They're locked the first time we've seen that as a duelist, supposedly. I don't believe it yet until we see it fully in the game itself, because it feels like something very Deadpool to do. If they show that they're duelists, then actually turn out not to be a duelist.
No, I think I saw a theory on Twitter the other day. The theory is that he could be anything. If you think about it hard enough, he can be any role.
Yeah. His whole
How
thing
does
is
he
breaking
heal?
the fourth wall, so being
Does he-
surprising. Literally, the idea of Deadpool showing up because everyone wants him to be a duelist or a vanguard because he's got the healing factor and he's all guns and swords, and him just showing up in a
True.
maid outfit with just a big syringe nurse outfit is delightful. That's 100%
Nah.
he would do.
Now he just grabs your health bar and just increases it. He just draws more.
I've
health.
seen that.
Very
I've seen
bold.
concepts of that with like Gwenpool and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Just grabs your health bar, increases it. It's so good.
Yeah, and then we saw, after that originally, then Elsa Bloodstone assassinating them and talking about, oh, I'm in this game because of a rival and everything. So yeah, you see, there's like some sort of summon character. I'm thinking potential Vanguard for that one, maybe. So who knows?
I didn't even notice that. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
exactly. So it's like there's some sort of creature that's being summoned behind her as well. So I don't think it's just going to be her. Maybe it'll be similar to some other heroic characters we've seen in other titles. But yeah, I mean, just having these characters in the game is going to be dope. Elsa Bloodstone and Deadpool specifically. I mean, let me just put it on the image there. Yeah. Night at the Museum is what it's going to be called for season 6 as well. I mean, that's also just an ode to some great films out there. So it's going to be awesome.
I would like to point it out that the thing in the background could be a map potential as a
Ooh,
spoiler,
it could
or
be,
even
yeah.
just a storytelling thing. It doesn't have to be a summoner style
Specific
character
like summon
the
of
Lord.
hers, yeah.
Although I would like a summoner style character, and Elsa would kind of fit that role, even though she's more of usually a gunswinger with hyper stamina and regen.
Yeah.
But purely because I want Kid Kaiju in the game, where he just stays in spawn and sends out different monsters. So this would be a good test to see if that kind of character could work.
Imagine
I have a
she's able to
theory.
summon some of the different characters that are like in this animatic,
Oh,
not
yeah.
specifically like Capwolf, but like the dinosaur or Thorg and all that. Like that'd be cool. Or Throg, excuse me.
What's your theory like?
Yeah, from that video, the way the map is, I mean, it's sort of hinting at the collector's vault.
Museum, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause everything's there, all the monsters and stuff like that. So they're breaking in, freeing these monsters. So that's probably the map concept. Now, we've had destroyable terrain in the game so far. What if when you break vaults open, monsters just
That'd be
hazard on the
cool.
map?
So we're talking like neutral objectives.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Maybe.
That's
Even if it's just an
interesting.
obstacle, even if it's just a monster that just does AoE damage to just everybody, it just like runs out of the vault, the T-Rex, and you're like, yo, remember guys, dodge T-Rex at the start of the map or something like that. Just something funny.
So it's like the Wakanda maps where they have like a little gimmick where like at times
where like the
yeah,
fire
everyone
like attacks you on the
floats.
point for like a little bit.
Yeah. I get what Liger's going with. I'm
That'd be cool.
surprised if they do some sort of gimmick like that.
I'd be down.
Yeah, I mean, it might make sense because like this whole like museum collectors thing that they're going for, especially from this season into the next one, and kind of carrying over that story a little more. I feel like the seasons up to this point haven't been as connected on that side, right? We've seen them kind of jump from one theme to another. I mean, we had the Dracula one, then we had the Null one specifically. Now we have more of the Grandmaster style with Rogue and Gambit. So there's a couple different options that they can go for that might change their thought process on that. But speaking of 5.5, let me bring it up real quick and fix the arrangement for it. We do have to talk a bit about the patch notes that did drop. I know there is a lot of thoughts about it. We'll quickly go through it because we're not going to spend too much time now that we've actually like been able to see the thought process through all that for now. But there we go. Looks a little better. So Emma Frost, not too many changes.
At least it wasn't as bad as season 5.
Yeah,
we'll put it at that.
Exactly. Yeah, more adjustments than anything else on this side. So Emma Frost, not too many changes. Penny Parker, a little bit of a health nerf, makes sense. Thing, they had some decent changes here specifically, making it so that they do more damage against like those bigger health targets. I think is awesome, and also a longer anti-mobility field for the Yancey Street Charge, pretty decent. I think he needed some more like love, and that works well. But the Thor change is the main thing I want to talk about for the Vanguards. Being able to use that like kidnap ability even faster on less of a cooldown than you would have for Wolverine, and just send people into your backline as Thor. It's kind of annoying to deal with.
High DPI players are going to love this because it's going to be similar to how when you can hook with Bucky, turn into a Trooper's Fist and literally as you pull someone in, flick and punch them into your team. Now, if you hit someone with the Storm Surge from Thor, you can just, if a high DPI, flick round and bring them back to your team. Just change direction, and that is scary.
Very scary,
Yeah.
especially because they can do it so consistently and so often.
Yes.
Like before, you had to go directly in the same direction. You had to be like behind them to try and do something like that. But now
Yeah.
you can literally walk up to them, charge it for like a second, and then send them back towards your team. It is crazy to deal with. You got some thoughts on it, Liger?
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't agree more. As a high DPI player, ridiculously high DPI. Like I'm default in game, and my mouse is maxed to whatever the maximum was.
That's
I don't know. I've just adjusted like
crazy.
that. I'm not even kidding. Like 3200 times 15 or something.
Wow.
Either way, that is great. Thor needed this because this also puts Thor players in the front line.
Yes.
A lot of the time they were just playing on the flank, but now that they're in the front line, they're like they can enable their team. Scoop up a Magneto, put him in the middle of your team, jump him. Have a Emma there too for the grab. Have a Rogue, as you said earlier, Tetra. Like it puts Thor back in. Hey, you're a Vanguard, not a beefy duelist, mate. Come help us. So it's a good change. It's a great quality of life change.
Yeah, I like that change a lot. Speaking of quality of life changes, Blade actually a little bit more relevant now. I've seen more people playing Blade than ever before because they do more damage and are able to combo a little bit better and get more healing given to themselves while they're in their Bloodline Awakening abilities. So that's massive. More survivability, more damage that comes out from just the typical Blade themselves and makes them feel more like Blade should instead of just gun. Because we saw that's how they were being played for the mid range for so long. Oh man, Human Torch. I mean, what do you guys think about these changes? I've seen a lot of people saying that this has really risen the stocks of Human Torch, not to where they used to be, of course, but more like in line of where they can potentially be. Not meta per se, but those top Torch players are still in the conversation from this one.
I mean, the damage went up.
Yeah,
and it's because of the spread and the each pellet doing a tiny bit more damage, but still without the melee tech, he's just still not the best, but still really good changes, I feel like, even though it's not all the way back up to peak Torch meta, but it's a lot better. We'll put it at that, and obviously there's still a lot of combo potential with it still.
yeah. Hopefully,
He has burst.
yeah. Hopefully they'll have some more buffs here and there for those Torch players, but also not too much because we don't want it to go back to where it was before. Speaking of buffs that might not have been necessary, Phoenix getting 100 extra HP to the End Song Infernal. I don't think this was necessary, personally. They already were such a good hero, specifically, and that was one of the main ways you could counter them is by dealing some damage to their ultimate. So, I don't know, Tetra, I feel like you have some opinions on this one.
It's a buff specifically for pro play. Like, this doesn't affect lower ranks at all because no one looks up.
Yeah.
But in pro play, you're pretty safe to say, like, if you look back at Ignite Global Finals, the majority of plays when Phoenix was seeing how good a team's comms were at just shoot the bird.
Yeah.
And now that's just going to make it a little bit harder, meaning that Phoenix isn't in a situation that I think Hela is still currently in, of just having an ultimate that just sort of ends without doing anything if you're not already winning a fight. So it's fine. It's not a huge deal. 100 HP is not going to make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things if you're already full targeting it as a team. But for those messier fights where you can't do that, it's going to make her a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I think that's a decent change as well, as you mentioned for that. Psylocke, they definitely needed a nerf in terms of their ultimate ability charge, but I don't think this is enough of a change onto Psylocke. Psylocke is still one of the top DPS, or duelists, excuse me, that are in the game there for a reason, right? They can build up their ult charge still relatively quickly. They have so much survivability. They're also able to just combo people so fast and just get out of dodge as quick as they can against the back line. So, I mean, Dan, like, do you have any specific thoughts on this change? I think it was necessary, of course, to like reduce the fast ult charge that we saw before, but I don't think it's like as much of a change as people were maybe desiring for this.
Yeah, it does weed out the Psylocke ulti merchants.
True.
We'll start there, because there were some people who were just farming on the tank, just wailing on it, and then
targeting Groot and then getting ult.
Yeah, targeting the Groot, and then once they get their ulti, it's like, oh, okay, backline gone now, bye bye. And then now it's a little more rare, and they're trying to make it so that Psylocke has a little more skill expression. So like, not only are you ulting the backline, you're also harassing them every so often, finding those one-shot combos, and just like weaving in and out and making sure that you're drawing the attention and making sure team tries to capitalize on that. So more skill needed for Psylocke in a way it's better. It's gonna make it a better nerf or better buff or nerf
Nerf.
I'm-
Yeah. I mean, we saw some
I'm
like
going over
interesting
this.
stuff with what was happening specifically for Psylocke's team up that's out there as well. But Cloak and Dagger kind of falling in the ways of the rankings, and we'll talk about that in a bit in terms of strategists. So maybe not as much of a thing to worry about on that side. Scarlet Witch, much needed changes in my opinion. There was a readjustment though because they were getting their their secondary fire charged up a little bit too fast after the patch came out. So people were thinking, man, this is perfect. We can get our Chthonian burst as quickly as possible. And now we're able to just combo people and be more of a hit scan from that. And then they kind of dialed it back a little bit and realized, oh, this is a bit of a bug. And now it's not as crazy as people were thinking originally. But I still think this was a necessary change for Scarlet Witch. Also changing their Darkseal projectile to have, and that's their stun specifically, to immediately pop up as soon as it hits something. I think that's a necessary change too for this hero. I saw a smart post, I think it was by Boger, shout out to him, saying that like this is one of the heroes, if you do too much to it, then it'll break the game, right? And I think this is just enough to change for Scarlet Witch to not make it too broken.
This will reward the players in the, let's say, like, eternally below, who just want to play Scarlet.
Yeah.
Like, reality is, if she's good in pro play, we're in danger.
Yes.
Can't happen. Yeah, we're in heavy danger. This is just great hero design to hang out for the majority of the player base. And it's a good buff in that regard.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's a solid change on that side. Punisher getting a little extra damage.
Strong enough.
Oh,
what were we saying, Tetcher?
Sorry, which is strong enough that we could see her from the players who are witch merchants at this point. Like at this point, she's probably going to be played similar to how she was in the one season we saw play, which is an alt beta.
Yeah.
She is here to use alt and force a defensive alt, force every tool to be used on her, and then you win a fight with another hyper carry. That's probably how we'll see her in the future, because otherwise you're just burning too many resources.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And also now her like regular damage that she does is better than her strange team up. So like there's no reason to use the strange team up. So that's also an interesting note for that too. Punisher, they get a little bit more damage on their primary fire, so they don't have to spend as many bullets to take down some of those tanks out there. Yeah, I don't think it was as necessary, but we've also seen Punisher kind of fall behind a little bit recently, mainly because of the bigger hitbox, right? Compared to, the hell of the Phoenix out there. It's easier to deal with in comparison. Yes, they do have their ultimates, but we've seen it shut down a lot more recently as well, especially if you have that rogue out there. You can kind of target the Punisher pretty well. So there's a lot more counters to Punisher than there used to be for some time. So I don't think it's as much of a buff as people were thinking. Wolverine, though, that's a big change. You can now ult into walls immediately. You do not have to look for a different location, go all the way up into the animation. You can immediately pop it with a team towards a wall, do massive damage. This is a huge change. And I think they're still trying to figure out exactly where to put Wolverine, because we haven't seen as much play in kind of the lower ranks specifically, and we're seeing more usage out of it. And I think this is going to be a huge factor we see in some of those team fights.
If that terrain, if the wall is destroyable, do you push the enemies through the wall?
I think so.
That's a good question.
I'm
That's
not
crazy.
so sure about that. I think he just crashes into the wall, the wall collapses.
Yeah.
That might be the case. Yeah, I haven't seen it for sure though, so
That's
we'd
just
have to test
weird.
it.
We should test that. We'll test that in the future, because if that's the case, there's certain access to how you can literally box them into a pit if you know exactly where you're positioning everything, because we can always see the destroyable terrain. I don't know. I'm very obsessed with destroyable terrain. I generally think Hulk should be able to pick it up and
That'd be
whack
cool.
people with it. Like, that's a great Hulk buff. Please buff Hulk with that. Let him pick up terrain and whack people with it, or throw it at people. It won't make him that broken. Just come on.
That'd be awesome. He definitely needs some sort of adjustments to make it more viable right now. I mean, the team ups were part of the reason why he was so good too in the past, and then there's just been not really much to say after that. I mean, we don't really see a Hulk and a Black Panther played like at all. So either way though, talking about the strategists here now with the changes, more time for alt charges is always good. I would say for these adjustments, Loki has been continually getting buffs recently. We saw in season 5 patch and now in season 5.5. I think this is probably to try and make them more relevant in terms of composition, but I don't think they needed this. Loki is very relevant right now, especially being able to copy Gambit ults. You see, if there is a Gambit that goes through, a Loki will likely be banned, so you don't have to deal with double Gambit ults, because that is not fun to play against.
We've been talking about triple strat. Loki, Gambit, Invis has been a pretty
Yeah.
severe one that I've been seeing in quite a lot of the high ranked games, which is not even going into our like triple strats of like, here's the damage strategist, here's Ultron, here's Jeff, here's Adam. No, what if we just had everyone be healing, but Gambit does a bit more damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying to face off against. I'm sure we're going to see some hijinks with it, determining how those like MRC bans go through for these next couple of weeks. So that'll be interesting for sure. Luna Snow.
That Gambit gives Magneto a actual cannon on his hand, which is a lot of extra damage. So I think Gambit may see it'll be touched, but the problem is there's so much to ban right now, and MRC bans are
not enough. It's not enough.
Not enough, yeah. And some people aren't even prioritizing Gambit either. They're prioritizing more like target bans. When I talked to specifically, I think it was Wav and Daxu from Vulcan Red, like Wav was saying, yeah, we might not focus too much on Gambit in the MRC bans and more focus on like targeting the duelist line or targeting a specific player on the other team and make it so that they have to play something they're not as comfortable on instead, because like everyone plays Gambit. So that might be part of the strategy for some of these teams as well, but we'll see how it develops through the weeks of MRC.
That ties into a whole nother issue right now, which is the duelist balancing over a long period of time. Like, how many of those duels have been in meta for so long? Like, it's kind of nice that Torch is not in meta,
because
he was so dominant for so long. But it's like, Sai, Hela, Phoenix, they need a break.
They do.
100% those three especially need a break.
Maybe Deadpool's the way to do it if he's a duelist.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like once because I have a feeling he'll feel. Listen, because we kind of skipped over that. We didn't theorize it. Maybe we will later. You let me know, Audible. Are we going to theorize? Is he ranged or melee? Because he has 2 guns and 2 swords.
See, that's where it's tough, because I'm like, it makes it feel like he fills the same role as Blade in that aspect. Then, right? If he is both and swaps between them, so it's like it's tough to know what that will be. I know we saw a lot more usage of the melee in the trailer, at least, right? So I don't know. It's tough. I think he'll have 2 modes similar to Blade, but maybe he'll also have like a couple of abilities that are similar to the other heroes and being like, I took this from them or something, just so I can use it myself. Like, not necessarily in the rogue aspect where they stole it in the stealing their power sort of deal, but it's just because like I just renamed it as my own thing. Who knows?
He just stole Rocket's gun. That's it.
Yeah.
He just heals everyone with it. That's it.
When's Rocket going to steal Bucky's arm so we can nerf Bucky? That's what I want to know.
We need that team up.
Oh no.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a couple ways I could do that. But speaking of Rocket, they had their cosmic art amplifier, rightfully so, cost more energy. That's still been so meta to use that, and it still is meta even with the changes, because you can just get it so quickly. And I don't think that'll change, because having the damage boost and the bonus health is massive, especially in a lot of these team fights, to like finish off some of the teams. And with the damage boost you get from the Mantis, that's also like crazy to stack that on top of it. Now the damage boost you're getting from Ultron too, if they're 2 specific
oh my gosh.
Drones,
oh my gosh.
like,
damage boost, undivable, bonus health, some of the best healing in the game. A free revive.
More healing orbs now too, right, for Rocket from like the last patch.
From last patch.
Yeah, Rocket's fine. We don't need to be worried. This is not a
I feel like the only reason Rocket isn't as crazy right now is like he doesn't do damage. He's really just he's really just mostly util.
Up into their face. Yeah, like if you're within 10 meters and you dump like your entire ammo into it, then that might be something.
If you ever get the chance, watch Sparker play Rocket. He literally plays it like he's got rabies. He's right in their face, headshots, racking everyone. It's just brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like Saipe even doing the same thing too, right? Just in some of his ranked games, like he's just been going crazy with it, just charging people down, like focusing a penny. Like, oh my gosh.
Can we get a Saipe ranked leaderboard check? How many?
We'll do that like, before we look at the teams and everything. Yeah, we'll go towards the leaderboards and all that. Let's talk a little bit about the Luna Snow updates. So Luna Snow, kind of the poster child, right, of Marvel Rivals. So it makes sense to try and see if there's a way to make them a bit more relevant. And I think this is a decent way, aside from the team up, mind you, for Emma, which is also interesting to note. On that side, they have their own like ice wall that they can bring up. So that's kind of neat. But they can snowflake themselves is basically what this ability is. You can't use the snowflake on your other teammates, though. So that's where it kind of balances things out. And I think people have calmed down from their high horses of being like, this is so broken, where it's not necessarily. It's more like utility, knowing where to prioritize. And the big change, though, I think is a little busted, is the absolute zero. The freeze for Luna Snow is even easier to hit, and it goes faster. we didn't need this. It was a skill check, right, for Luna Snow, and I think this makes it so that it's even easier for people who are diving towards Luna Snow to be countered out because of it. I don't know. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I feel like this is a Venom check. It's literally Venom is a little oppressive right now, so let's give like Invis Woman already has a bit of a counter. Jeff and Rocket are very hard to dive anyway. They just escape. Lovelock can fly away. Luna's not seeing any play because she doesn't have much counterplay outside of hitting that free, so they just made it a bit easier as a way to nerf Venom without nerfing Venom.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that when we go into the tier list, because Venom maybe not as relevant as they used to be. We saw them be pretty good before, but some adjustments on that. And like, yeah, you can see the team up abilities that were adjusted or removed, the chilling assault. So Emma Frost gets that kind of like iced out diamond ability where like a wall can appear. It's got, I think, like 250 HP if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can hit people into it with your diamond form. So I think I don't think Emma needed this. Emma's already so good, and I think she had a good spot in kind of that, not necessarily like brawl as much until she's in her diamond form, more focusing like towards mid-range a little bit there. But now this allows her to like move up a little bit more, have a deployable that can provide cover for her and her allies, and yeah, more incentive to play like Luna Snow with that Emma Frost. So
she has two now. She has two, man. Yeah. That's too much. Why? What?
It's a lot.
2 balls.
Yeah, that's right, because she has her like deployable that she had before too, so they could even use both of those. Yeah, I guess that one was just going down too fast, so maybe this one's a little different on that end. But Salak no longer having the mental projection with Emma Frost, but they do have that sort of duality is the changes. If there is a cloak and dagger, you want to ban Salak personally, just because they now have their own like cloak escape that they can use where they cannot be hit by anything, so they can for free avoid a mag ult or any sort of ultimate like that targets them, and it's crazy. They also have their own ability that heals them and does damage similar to the one that you see with Hawkeye, so it's just like more sustainability for Psylocke that I don't think was necessary to include. But hey, more for the Psylocke players to enjoy playing with their Cloak and Dagger friends on that side. The Explosive Entanglement, though, for Gambit and Rogue, I think is very solid. It makes it so that she has more options of like an AoE damage burst around her, where she's usually just more like in your face, punching and fighting game style, like you were saying, Liger. So that one's going to be interesting if we do somehow see Gambit and Rogue get through on some of these comps for MRC. But I don't know how likely we'll see too much usage out of Rogue. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Liger?
Well, look, right now from what I'm seeing, Gambit is making it through way too much. Like it's become a agreement. Like everybody's like, we both want to play Gambit. Let's just play Gambit. Rogue's not getting banned in return. That's true. It's because if you're running, she's more like she's like a just below the rest of the top Vanguard. She's like an A tier Vanguard at the moment. She's not necessarily getting banned, so you're gonna get that Explosive Entanglement team up, but you're not getting mag. One of them is always banned, and it's usually between Gambit or Mag. Most of the time, it's Magneto being banned. So you're never going to, because that team up with Gambit is crazy. But ultimately, yeah, with Rogue in the front lines, with that, it's pretty good. Again, anything that enables your team to want to play forward with you is great for a Vanguard, especially for a brawler Vanguard like Rogue right now. I mean, the only other two that really brought that gameplay was the Thing when they finally tuned him to give his team a bit more protection. And Cap now with the Freedom Charge, which is the most motivating thing to literally say, go forward.
Yeah.
You know how many times you're like, I wish my team would hear me in the VC to go forward. Now I have an in-game ability that literally says, go forward. So
it literally says,
more of that. Literally, more of that, please. Anything that helps just teams just naturally get united by game dynamic instead of forcing VC, because obviously we all can't play in an esports environment. But if it naturally motivates the average queuer to just work with that frontline Vanguard or a strategist like Gambit, same thing. His ultimate is basically, hey, everybody get near me. If you want this, we go in together. So it's like, there's a little bit of a ping there. You start to like collect your teammates and they're like, all right, everybody's good, ready to go. Flush them. That's it. So that's my opinion of that. Yeah. Actually, that brings me into the whole patch notes as a whole. I'll ask all of you as well, like, what move at poke, back to front? I'm sensing a bit of brawl finally happening, the rush brawl. But then again, Ultron, but yeah, still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's like a mix of brawl and dive, because brawl is slowly coming back with the introduction of Rogue, and then dive coming in Dive has always been consistent. It's just a matter of which team can execute it better. And then with Daredevil existing in the game, those dive compositions, like the tempo just got insanely fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it might be a mix of both brawl and dive because you kept mentioning it, Liger. Like there's a lot more initiating ultimates in the game now compared to what we saw in the last year. Because a lot of the times last year, it was more of like a cause and effect. Like you use this ult and then they respond with this ult. But now you can literally start fights with, let's say, Ultron ulti, Emma ulti, now even Gambit ulti. So you have a lot more options to like make the first move and get value out of it before they even respond.
A lot more push. I like to see it personally. I mean, it's so fun when you see, and that's also why we saw Star-Lord also be a lot more relevant too, right? Like for the Gambit Ultimate, they probably get the most mileage from it. So it's really interesting when we see those like full pushes, like, okay, Royal Flush and all that kind of stuff go through, and then you see like everyone just converge on the objective. No one can stop them. They're just overwhelming everyone. You have to have like your own counter Gambit ultimate. Hopefully you timed it right so you can go in yourselves, and like the way the fights have been more explosive on that way is super interesting to me. And I'm really curious like what the counters are eventually going to find out that they can have. Like maybe Rogue would be a decent one, right? So that you can use your ultimate first before they get their Gambit ult, and then combo yourself so you win the team fight that way, and that way they can't charge their ults as fast. I think we're going to see some like interesting usage from that Rogue ult too to shut down the strategist ults, right? So that they can't like win a team fight by using it at the right time. They have to use it immediately or else they'll lose it. So there's going to be some decent strategy for that. But we can talk about all day about what we think in terms of that side of things. But let's go into the hero meta here. We can theory craft for this as well on what we think it will be for MRC for season 5.5. Let's start with Rogue. We were talking about it. Are we thinking A tier specifically for now? Are we thinking anywhere else? I mean, I think that's a good spot at this point.
Yeah. Like they're like
up against.
Like the ceiling is high, like very high, like Angela level high. But right now, people are still getting a feel of it and like being able to counter.
Yeah, they need more time. No,
I'm comfortable with an S just because she hard counters so many people directly who have previously been met.
Fair.
So on Angela then, would we say also S? Would we say SS? Where are we feeling for Angela?
Equal.
Still S.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's still good. She still dives. She still sets up. She still harasses. Yeah. She's a bit anti-fly, which is great because flies could be strong next meta. Yes. So
that's why Angela exists.
Okay.
Racco is still a map, and therefore Angela will always be viable.
Valid. That is super valid. I'm really curious, like what we'll see map pool going forward after season 5, right? Like,
that's true.
There's so much potential for them to bring back some of the old ones. Yeah, please.
Bring back Shibuya, please.
Because the map pool is so balanced right now. It's 4 of each game mode, so it's perfect as it is. So are they just gonna add more, or are they just gonna
get a new domination map and get rid of Celestial Husk, please?
We don't have domination yet, Giselle. We don't have Shin Shibuya, so like maybe
one of the maps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get rid of one of the Clintar maps, please. They're so like drab.
I don't like Celestial Husk at all. Get rid of that, please.
You're not getting Resource Rumble. We could have all 3.
That's true.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god.
Oh man,
that's what I would lose my freaking mind.
Okay, this one's easy, right? Gambit SS. I don't think we need to really talk too much about it. Like best strategist that you can have out there on the same note to Invis. Have Invis up there as well. Daredevil. Are we seeing SS as well?
Daredevil.
Yeah.
He is weaker. He is weaker. But call outs are still important. He's still sticky, which makes him rough. I'd say SS or S.
Yeah, I think
still up there.
We've seen a lot of people target banning like the really good Daredevil players too.
There was a bug.
Is there a duelist better than him at the moment? Like,
I mean, the other duelist I've seen recently is Star-Lord. Like, a lot of people have been playing Star-Lord at that level, especially with the Gambit team up, and just like how good they can build up their ult charge. I don't think we even saw a nerf for Star-Lord this patch either. So
nope.
Yeah,
good.
So they're pretty solid in terms of that, and they have like their own kind of invincibility frames on that side too. I'm wondering, where are we feeling Mantises currently? Are we feeling
okay? So there is a lot of ultimate acceleration in the game.
Yeah,
Mantis was the OG ultimate accelerator with the 14% damage boost. But like at the start of the game, no one has ultimate acceleration. But Mantis has access to the Inspire, so you still get the damage boost. So she still has that early game ultimate acceleration.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if teams would provide put more emphasis on getting their ultimates a little bit faster. So maybe
My argument is here. Look at who are the duelists who are potentially going to be better. Star-Lord already mentioned. Daredevil potentially. Psylocke still going to be good. Potentially Punisher after the buffs. Hela can start one-shotting people. And if you look at those, these are all people who Mantis very much boosts.
Yeah.
So I feel like Mantis is still going to be in the play, or at least in the bans, because she makes these characters so strong, especially someone like Star-Lord or Punisher.
Oh yeah, I mean having that damage boost is just like the difference maker for a lot of it too. I mean, on that note, for alt charge, where we feel in Captain America is currently.
Is Polly the game?
Yeah, I think he's A. I think he's A. He's
A.
not keeping up as consistent as Rogue and Angela.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I'd say because of the old charge and like the extra sustain, I'd still put him in S.
I've seen a
It's
lot of
hard.
like Captain America and Gambit
He's like
compositions
bottom
too.
of S. I don't know. Yeah. Look.
Yeah, I don't know. Cause like from what I've seen, like it's in my own personal games, it's hard to like stay inside like the star spangled path. It's very difficult. Whereas Gambit ulti, you can go wherever the heck you want.
That's true.
Whereas for Cap, you're kind of constrained into a
let's think
zone.
specifically like pro
But that's
play
about
in this
Cap.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cap needs to be the one who is making sure that their team is protected. It's a pseudo-strategist ultimate. So they're the one who has to be running through their team and then shield up, run through the enemy team for displacement, try and knock Invisible Woman out of her ultimate. A good Cap, as we already mentioned, I think is easily S, but I feel like I'm outvoted.
I think we'll put him
Look,
bottom
for
of
me
S
right
for now.
now-
We'll put him bottom of S.
Yeah,
I
he's
kind of
like
agree on
hovering
that.
between
one.
A and S. I will say that just
I'm cool
because of
with
the
that.
ulti.
But you know who should be there with him? Because the good Cap players, they're also picking Groot over Cap.
That's
scenarios
true.
right
We
now.
are
Groot
seeing
shot
Groot
up.
be really good right
He
now.
shot up.
Mantis
Yeah.
is still viable. Groot Wombo is a great counter, and obviously you want to try and force the Gambits to use their cleanses, so having the CC characters suddenly, weirdly, despite having someone who counters the CC, having a CC character suddenly becomes more viable because you want to force them.
Exactly. And if you're putting Groot in S, Moon Knight is right behind him in A.
I
By
agree.
default,
Moon Knight has
he's
gotten that damage
actually
boost that they
going
needed.
crazy right now. He's
Convoy
finally
is
really
better.
good.
Convoy's a map
Convoy's
type,
a
so
map.
I'll accept it.
I am here for the Moon Knight
But
propaganda.
genuinely, like he's never been this good. Like
No, this is the
he's
best he's
finally
been.
catching up. Yeah.
Apart from the Moon Knight bug back in what was it, season 1?
Yes,
That's
still like
true.
just the
season.
demo.
That was
What was it with the
was
ultimate,
so
right?
silly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Moon
the
Knight
ulti would do
Storm
double
bug at the
damage
same time. Yes,
for no reason.
that was right.
Okay.
That was fun. That was funny. Fun.
Tetcher,
Really funny.
I'm gonna ask you where are we putting Ultron? Is it S? Is it A?
I'm pretty confident at double S, but I feel like I might just be drinking too much of the motor oil. But I really
you got the Ultron
having
virus in
that-
you. I got it.
you have a duelist who does great damage and also gives a constant passive healing to your backline and your front line while being a flyer, while having a really solid ultimate. I feel like he's in one of the best spots he's been. While the healing's not great, single target shielding.
He can get his ultimate so much faster too.
Exactly. It's just
That's true.
is
That's why they had to
in
nerf
a-
it.
it's
some-
not
Did
flashy,
they nerf
but
it?
it is good.
I think they did.
They did nerf like the charge, but it was not
Yeah.
enough because he gets it so much faster with the 2 drones now. So
the 2 drones, yeah.
Strategist as well. Rocket S. I feel like that makes sense at this point in time. On the other aspect though, Jeff, like where do we feel Jeff is currently? I think they aren't as relevant recently because we see the Gambit, because we see the Invis being so good, Ultron also being so much better. Jeff hasn't seen as much play in pro play personally.
I have an argument for this, and that is that as long as triple strategist is relevant, Jeff will be relevant for multiple reasons. One, he's a great triple strategist fill-in. He
That's
fits
true.
very well, especially with Venom compositions, where you can get that symbiotic shenanigans and get really good value. The speed boost to get your teams where they need to be for these rushdown compositions with Star-Lord and Jeff is very hard to deal with. And two, if you can't get through your opponent's healing, you remove the characters. They can't be healed if they're in Jeff. So as long
true.
as triple strategist is relevant, I feel like there will be a place for Jeff unless he literally gets tuned out. In the same way that I believe on convoy maps, there's always a place for Storm Jeff, because if you can't break
That's true.
the siege, you might as well remove the siege and just take it somewhere else.
That's so true on that end. So would we say A-ish right now?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a
I feel like A is like our situationally good tier at the moment, right?
Yeah, pretty much at this point. Doctor Strange. Where do we
SS.
feel Doctor SS still?
As long as Portal's in the
As long as the
game,
portal.
I mean,
I don't touch anything with the portal.
I feel like without that gamma ability he used to have, that made him
he
SS.
still does crazy damage.
I know.
He still has
Yeah.
a decent shield. The strangest
gets so
shield
much
being the
playtime.
most controllable out of most characters, outside of maybe Magneto, makes him a great counter to some ultimates because he can break line of sight for heals and also break line of sight for CC.
Yep.
You know how broken it is stealing it on Rogue? Holy, the amount of utility she gets having that server.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Like I just grab it and then I lead my team forward. It's amazing.
Okay, that's
It's
the only
so
argument I would say of maybe putting Strange down.
I would put
because
him
Rogue is in
S
the game,
tier
you don't want to stop
personally,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we haven't seen as much like focus on just playing Strange as like your main shield tank. We've seen more Magneto focus, right, on that side. The portal, of course, is always going to be relevant, but like remove the portal from the conversation in terms of just raw like potential as a Vanguard. I think not as big of a focus as some of the other heroes that are out there, right? With the Angela being in play, with the Rogue, and also now having Emma just have more util that they can have. They can just put up an ice wall if you have a Luna Snow on your team. I mean, it's just kind of crazy how many more counters there are, and also the Gambit being able to cleanse their ultimate makes it so that their ultimate is kind of a moot point too, right? So I think not as much of a focus as there used to be, but they're still really good, and having portal is always going to be key. And I don't think we'll see as many bans onto Strange too.
Before we move on, I've seen a shocking amount of portal plays in MRC.
There's been so many portal plays.
There's been so many. I don't know why.
They just want to troll the lower elo players. That's all it is. Yeah.
Like, my favorite one's still the Kurova clip. The one with Kurova. Where he's just standing in front of spawn with the Jeff emote, and then Crimzo goes.
That's a good
one.
Yes, that was good.
I saw one that CB posted.
On Kunlun, is that the one?
No, I think it
Was
was
it Kunlun
on
where
It's a symbiotic surface.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he was suit Jeff in front of spawn, just emoting and baiting them, and they just all ran into it.
I've done it twice now. It's so good.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's really
okay, so Hella SS S tier. Where are we feeling right now?
I feel like both Hela and
getting
Namor
banned a
need to go in S because they're both really strong.
Yeah.
But
Team
they're
up
kind
solid.
of dependent. Like Hela's maybe a little
Depend on
bit
each
stronger than
other.
Namor. Maybe Namor is A, but I feel like they're
I would say
both
Namor's
strong
A,
as
yeah.
long as they have each other. But Hela can act independently.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because Namor's
on that
working
side.
with Groot again. Because if Groot's seeing play, Namor will see more. So
Very
if
good.
you get
That
the
is a
Hela
good
ban,
point.
you still can run him.
But that still means two reasons that Namor needs other heroes to work.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hela,
exactly.
It
So
can't
he's
just be
situational.
hit scan from over here.
I mean, on that
Also, just
side,
Hela
good,
works
yeah.
where do we
with,
feel Phoenix
with
is currently?
Venom. I'd say the same. I don't
Yeah,
think she's any
we're on
worse.
S.
She's
Yeah.
fine.
Puts Rocket and Loki in check, mainly.
Yes. Very
Yes,
true.
definitely.
And Groot.
And when we see penny players
And
coming
Groot.
out, there's been
Yeah,
a lot
Hella
more of
Groot,
those
Hella Groot.
recently.
True,
Really good to like get
yes,
rid of
yes.
those.
Yes. Well, should we place Penny now?
Yeah, I guess we can talk about Penny here as well.
Top
Like,
right.
where
Oof.
should we put her? A? We feel an A? I think A.
I mean, I used to say situational, but she's just working on every map now.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's really consistent.
Also, just because like the healing that she now has from her webs is massive.
Yeah.
So it, like,
True.
I think we're underestimating the it depends on, like you said, I still think it's map dependent because flanking Penny is weaker now, but like you said, defense Penny is stronger. But the problem is Penny is very much reliant on a hit scan CC to be useful, or your opponent's not paying attention. Like,
True.
yes, you can set up mines, yes, you can control an area, but a quick adjustment from your team can deal with that. Mag with the new update with the sword can blow up the nest pretty easily. You can have Angela literally hover above it and can do some good work. She's good, but your team needs to learn how to play with Penny, and I don't know if we're there yet.
So for the most part, probably
was
more
gonna say-
B-ish.
Yeah. I was gonna say she's good because of how bad she used to be. That's why
Yes,
we're
that
just
is
like,
so true. As someone who plays Penny
That's
a
so
lot,
true.
yeah,
she's amazing right now. But I don't know if like against pro
She's
players,
catching up.
it's
She's
what we want
Yeah,
to see.
pro
There's a
play
couple-
maybe not
there's
so
a
much.
couple
we're
out there,
putting
but
this in
there's-
context of pro play, so
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
valid.
yeah. No,
No,
one
like,
pro
I mean,
player-
Right.
on that side, we'll put Black
Yeah.
Panther at C. I think that's
Nah,
an
what do
easy
you
one.
mean?
We could probably put Hulk down there too. You know, unfortunately for Hulk,
Yeah.
that's an
Hulk
easy
has
right
one.
click
played,
buff was,
uh,
right click buff was
Scarlet
nice,
Witch,
but
Hulk
Squirrel
has more of a
Girl.
place than
Nope.
than Black Panther, but not enough to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
not
put
enough to-
that down there.
yeah.
Squirrel got
believe he's
buffed,
the
but
bottom of
again,
the whole
not
game.
enough to be useful.
Thor probably C tier as well, right?
Wait. I have one argument. Squirrel is more useful than she used to be because
a group.
Penny is more useful than she
Penny,
used to be.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
Not
B?
enough to move her up.
No.
but she is more
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, on that note,
There's
Penny's
more
getting
situations.
where are we thinking Mr. Fantastic falls in now? I've seen them used a lot more recently.
Ooh,
high B, low A. I think he
Yeah.
is useful now. He has crowd control. He can add a lot of beef against certain compositions. He is difficult to deal with now, and that is pretty big. And there are some really good Mr. Fantastic players
insane.
who've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
Also, because the team up is nearly always in effect because Invis is in every game.
Pretty
So
much.
he's
True.
automatically just he's a vanguard. He's literally
Yeah.
a vanguard because of that.
I'm gonna put him A personally.
So-
I've seen like a lot more usage out of Fantastic
Bottom
in
of
general.
A, effect waiting to be seen.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a lot more Fantastic, specifically in this MRC on that side.
hope.
Blade, where are we thinking is going to be? Still C? Are we thinking B a little bit more? I've
C.
seen some really good Blade players.
I feel like
They're not there yet. They're not there yet. We
Yeah.
haven't seen enough of it.
I think
It's-
he
he
is.
just
I
got
think
that.
people are hiding it for later levels of MRC.
Yeah,
I
the
think
anti-heal
we'll see
is
Blade
huge.
players, especially like we saw it in Ignite grand
Mm.
finals on Midtown from Bobo and all that.
True.
I think we
Yeah,
will see Blade appear, but it's going to be in a similar situation of your opponents are grouped up, time to spin, and just
Mhm.
diving in, add to heal, hit everything.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I hope we see more Blade in MRC. I'm always a fan of seeing those plays.
would be cool.
Same for Mr. Fantastic. I mean, just like having the brainiac bounce going on in those like small corridors just isn't so lethal because they just get to go
my
back
God,
and
yeah.
forth.
Wait, quick question. Why is Thor in C? When did that happen?
I don't know. Where
He's
are we
not
putting
gonna
Thor?
be-
Where are we putting Thor? B? Are we putting him in B?
He's like he's
He's kind of like fantastic. He's kind of
Yeah,
like fantastic.
I'm
He
gonna
plays
say
in
A.
similar
yeah.
role.
Okay,
He's got
yeah.
he's got
I've
damage.
seen more
He's
usage.
got
used
utility
now.
Also
now.
good with the
Being
Angela team up too.
Yes, if you want
Yes.
to double dive, or if you want to.
Now we get double
Or we
kidnap.
see triple.
We get triple kidnap.
Yeah.
Triple kidnap with Wolverine. I need to see that.
Space is
Oh
pretty
my God.
fun.
Speaking of Wolverine,
Just
Speaking of
supply
which,
chain.
where is Wolverine
Yeah, get him up
currently?
there.
Oh
S?
yeah.
We feeling S?
Because Groot is back. He's back. It's just
That's true.
fundamental. It's
Yeah.
he's
Even with the
they're gonna be
unstoppable for Groot, where like he's got his
And
Iron
Rogue.
Wall and all that.
Yeah. And
What
Rogue. He
does
Rogue
what does
1v1.
Rogue steal from Wolverine?
The Bloodlust. The Berserker.
Oh yeah, the
Rage.
damage reduction. The damage reduction.
Yeah,
Then I'd
damage
say
reduction,
put
yeah.
Wolverine in A because, like you mentioned, the Ironwood Wall with the
Yeah.
invulnerability is pretty good, and you don't want
He's same,
Rogue to
same
be
as
an
Moon
issue
Knight.
against
He's
A.
there to counter the big vanguards of S tier.
He's a
It's
siege
the,
worker,
He's
yeah.
catching
It's
up.
the triple counter.
Yeah, I think this
Maybe.
makes a bit more
And-
sense here.
I think that's safe.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot more like Angela play than like Wolverine play to like focus on people in that same fashion because they're basically like a flying Wolverine on that side. Psylocke,
Basically, yeah.
SS, S tier, where are we feeling? Even with like
Still
the alt nerfs,
SS, I think, or S.
SS,
So,
yeah,
Yeah, between that,
too
yeah.
good.
It's the button that forces your strategist to press Q. It's kind of gonna be relevant for a while because it doesn't take like I'm about to say something spicy. The ultimate doesn't take skill. When to use it does because it does it
Yes.
for you. It does the damage.
That's true.
A good Psylocke will do the same job, just slightly longer. But now with alt charge characters in the game, it's not a big deal.
Okay, I respect it. Black Widow, C tier.
Depends.
Just
Depends.
no
If
one-
it's
no one-
Cherokee, maybe B. He's been
Yeah,
grinding.
yeah,
That's true.
Black Widow.
That's true.
He's been grinding.
Or Crazy
But
Raccoon.
yeah, overall C.
Yeah,
yes.
Crazy Raccoon.
Oh, shout out to Vital.
Mhm.
By Goat.
Shut up.
Oh
Widow
my
players.
All
God.
right, Emma,
Yeah,
SS
so
When
tier.
she's meta one day,
Yep.
holy
SS.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I think this
it's just
one's
gonna be
easy.
Widow. Yeah. Oh, yep, Emma, yep,
Yeah.
S.
Or put-
Yep,
you should just chug Mag next to her.
Yeah,
Mag next to
yeah,
her.
Yeah,
straight
Mag's
away.
up there
that's
as
easy
well.
enough.
Yeah.
Mag makes a lot of sense on that end. Cloak and Dagger, where are we feeling they're at currently? I saw a lot of people with their tier list relatively putting them low now.
She's the worst strategist at the moment, but she's still A, in my opinion. That's
Still-
how
yeah.
good strategist is at the moment.
I'm comfortable to say, like, yeah, she is definitely some of the weakest she's been, but she still has Terror Cape, which is
Yeah.
still good.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah,
It is still viable.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think we're going to probably be rating most strategists above her.
Yeah, I agree on that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean, let's get the strategist out of the way here as well. So
Sure.
Luna Snell with the changes, how we feeling? Are we feeling
S.
S?
I
Yeah,
S.
I agree.
Confident
Fire
S,
baby.
yeah.
Unconfident test from me.
Yeah, a bit more towards A for me as well. I think we'll see more
kind
usage
of
of it.
boring.
Yeah,
Her ult's kind of boring compared to
It's
Invis
still
or
good.
Gambit. Now.
That's
It's still
true.
great. It's like it's there, but it's like she's also lost a little bit of the fact that Venom's not there anymore. You don't have that combo with both of their ults, which
She's
is like an
still
instant team
good
wipe.
with, look at the duelists we've got in double
Yeah,
S
yeah,
tier
yeah.
right now. Gambit, Idolora, Star-Lord, Idolora, Psylocke, Idolora. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
gonna
that's true.
be strong.
Okay, on the same face, Loki, we think an
Okay.
S. I think it has to be right.
Needs the right heroes to work, but again, look who's in S and double S right
Yeah.
now. In Mantis, Luna.
Yeah.
The only issue right now is to stop Loki from being like, I would say double S right now is Rocket and Ultron potentially being better because
True.
they're not
Yeah.
the best characters to copy.
Listen, what the pro players, it's not even about skill. Once Lady Loki costume drops, they're just gonna play her.
Oh,
They're just gonna
God.
do it. They're just gonna do it. I'm telling you, Loki will shoot up just because of that.
Oh
The moment the certain Psylocke skin came out, every Psylocke player in the world was going crazy, especially the pros. Immediately all equipped it. And the first ignite back.
That's so true, actually.
It works.
Yeah, it's
Psychologically, it works. The moment it drops, it's coming.
All right, Adam Warlock, where are we feeling they're at currently?
Next to Jeff.
Next to Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
He's always going to be viable because he
Triple
has a chance,
strat. Yeah.
but Rogue makes him a little
Again.
bit worse.
Mhm.
Ultron can just ping him if you're able to play well, but he's also a hit scan, so he sort of fits in well. But there's a lot of stuff around right now that makes him not as good. So they both fit in that little maybe area. The right composition, yes. Otherwise, could struggle.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for me. Let's get our last two Vanguards out of the way and then kind of go through that duelist line. So we have Thing. Where are we feeling? I feel like B is kind of safe right now for Thing, unfortunately. We just haven't seen enough. Like he's good for triple, right? We've seen them or like last stands on points too, from what I've witnessed as well. But aside from that, and like situational usage, there hasn't really been much focus. Up to A?
Because the extra CC anti-mobility
That's true.
doesn't just affect dive characters, while Daredevil is of course viable and Magic's pretty much always viable. But you still also have Rogue, who as Dan mentioned so eloquently earlier, almost every ability is some kind of mobility. So having someone who can stop that isn't a bad thing.
Okay.
He is actually A because he's the situationally he's the brick wall to counter Rogue and Daredevil right now. Like if they can't really do much to him. They can't really do much to him, which is like so annoying because it should give him more playtime, but it's just not because he can't do anything else after that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of the best envelopes in the game, but everyone knows it, so everyone just avoids it.
Yeah.
Especially with Gambit's because of Gambit's ult providing everyone with that jump boost, you're just immediately dodging things. You're dodging Jeff's ult. That's why it's put them both down in A2, in my opinion. Everything else about them should scream S because they're countering your double S and your S tier heroes. But because of that alone, because of Gambit's existence, he's countering his friends' counters. It's really cool. It's like a whole loop right there. I love it.
No, that makes a lot of sense on that side. Okay, I can agree to put him towards maybe the bottom of A as well. Venom.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen as much usage of Venom currently in where the meta is at because there's a lot of counters to it right now. Where are we feeling they kind of end up now because of that? I mean, they're still good if you're going dive, but outside of that, I mean, even Luna got some more counters to him, right? So
I feel confident high S or double S because anti-heal is still a thing, dive is still a thing, and also he empowers Jeff and Hela. For starters, Venom Anti-Heal is still going to be viable. While we do have characters who can help deal with that, especially Gambit, for example, the cleanse is going to be extremely important for helping deal with Venom. If those characters don't make it through, Venom Anti-Heal's still good. He still sets up for characters like Psylocke really effectively, and he empowers Hela and also Jeff if Jeff still wants to see play. So he's still solid. He's just not the king that he used to be.
Okay. I respect them. Any rebuttals? Does everyone kind of agree that Venom's kind of like still towards that S tier?
Still,
he's there, but he's just not seeing playtime.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. They're just playing other dive instead. Like he never went bad. There's just other picks to play.
Yeah, I feel like drafts will
people
evolve
got bored.
throughout MLC just based on,
Yeah.
as you usually see, you will see the characters that are doing the best will get bad, and then he'll slip back in. We'll just see that rotation.
Yeah, not as much of a focus on banning him either, because there's so many other things to prioritize on that side too, which I think makes a lot of sense on that end as well. Bucky. S. I mean, I don't think he's like
S,
ever changed. Like, I think he's always been
he's
around
at
here.
least
Double S,
maybe even double S.
Yeah.
Because he's
every time
anti-fly.
every time the pro switch to Bucky, it's the highlight reel immediately. If we're talking pro play, it's the highlight reel. Crisis in the Grand Final is a great example. He's too consistent. It's Mr. Marvel Rivals every time. Mr. Hexakeo, like it's too consistent.
He can hyper carry. He can crowd control. He can
damage boosted too. Yeah,
damage boosted.
Yeah.
He's a safe pick.
He just fits. Yeah, he just fits every single comp in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go wrong with it.
Reset, crack, and impact. You want to poke and displace? Great, Bionic Hook, pull people out of position. You want to just roll. You want to just try and brawl. That's fine. His damage output's pretty solid. He has a slow. He's just fine.
And he's anti-dive too, if you think about it, with the Trooper's Fist. So there you go. Yeah. Jack of all trades, quite literally.
He's a good counter to Jeff Alt too.
That's my congressman.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Human Torch with the changes. I mean, where are we feeling Torch is at right now? I've heard some people playing it a little bit more.
B or A?
Yeah. Really depends if Ultron gets through.
Yeah.
I feel like
B because
B?
Yeah. I think B because Namor,
just by himself. Yeah.
I don't know. Like what? Think about like your Hela, your Namor, your Ultron. Who's denying them? They're denying him going up.
That's true.
That's fair. With Ultron, maybe
also
A,
Angela.
Also
Good
true.
Lord, Angela.
Yeah, Angela's a really good counter against
now.
him because he just doesn't have like enough escape options. Like he can do his little like dive towards the ground, but then afterwards like you're just a sitting duck.
No,
right?
She's already on him. She's already on him. Yeah.
So
She has the same thing kind of. She can slam down too.
Yeah.
She has two options: speed to him or slam down too and catch him.
Yeah.
Or even it sucks.
Right comp A or maybe S, but it's gonna be building comps around making Torch work.
Okay. Hawkeye, where are we feeling Hawkeye's at? B? A?
He's always been fine. He's always viable.
He's all right. You can potentially one tap.
Yeah,
the lucky one tap.
See people swap to Hawkeye for a bit, break a siege, and then swap off Hawkeye. Exactly. They'll just keep doing that.
Especially if they do have the cloak team up, right? Because they can get that like anti-heal, or not the anti-heal, excuse me, the extra damage that they can do with it on that end. So yeah, there's a couple options that way for them too. Iron Fist, Tank Buster, but I don't know how we're feeling currently for Iron Fist because, as you were saying, Liger, like Rogue basically does a lot of what Iron Fist is doing. So it's like, are we thinking B? We thinking A?
Honestly, your Iron Fist player can just flex to third Vanguard and play Rogue and get the same value. It really is that point now. As long as they just put a couple hours into it, and realize, oh, she's what I wanted Iron Fist to be. Okay, great, I'll play Rogue. But the thing is that there's aura playing him. There's the situational picks. People who will be like, no, I'm gonna play Iron Fist, and he still kind of helps against Wolverine.
Yeah.
Which is like, if your team's getting tank busted, he kind of has the edge over Wolverine, which is very useful. But I would put him in the same as Iron Man. It's like they should be bottom of the barrel, but they're tank busters.
Okay, so we think Iron Man at B.
The moment
I think Iron Man's C.
I was about to say. I was like,
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's one of those things where no one in pro play is playing them to show that because it's better pick. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, Shao Canute.
True.
How are we feeling about Magic right now? I think they're a good counter to Moon Knight. Just targeting them specifically whenever they're trying to go against them.
mid A. They're great against the Moon Knights, like
Yeah.
you say, and we have seen a couple
wow.
compositions
Yeah.
from people
Yeah.
like Jerky where they'll run Magic
Mhm.
with a Mantis triple strategist composition, Damage Boot
Ooh.
as
Oh,
the
yeah.
solo duelist, and
Mhm.
just
Also,
have
with the
that
Strange
yeah,
team
yeah.
up's really good too.
break
Like the chain that they
Yeah.
have.
The chain
Yeah,
is really
that's
good.
insane. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a snowball. It's 100% a death ball composition where you
Yeah.
just pick stuff to keep the magic alive and go fast. And
Yeah, that's pretty
it's
good.
terrifying what it does, but it's
Mhm.
still there, so it's still useful.
Okay, I
There
get
was
it.
one team. There was one team back in Ignite Asia Stage 2 that would always spam magic. Shout out Incipients. Shout out Gaku himself. Oh my god, they
Heck
just insisted on making the magic work, and I got them to playoffs, so
Yeah.
it worked.
I respect it. Spider-Man B. I feel like
See?
C?
B.
Spider-Man has
Best
two-
Spider-Man
Spider-Man has
players
two
don't
jobs.
play Ignite.
You
They
know,
don't play
Spider-Man has
Ignite.
Spider-Man has two jobs, and you will see him get played because of those two jobs. One, try and
Yeah.
do the
last touch strat.
the last touch strat, and try to pull people off
Oh.
the map on
Mainstream,
Horn of Jarlia.
okay.
That's true.
Those are
The trust me tech.
the
The trust me tech.
Yeah,
You'll see
You're
him
right,
in
he's
those
B.
two situations.
Okay.
Trying to get to the point because
Yeah.
he's fast. It's the same reason you see Iron Man. Tries to get to the point because he's
Yeah.
fast and trying to get some cheese. But
Yeah.
if those are the only two reasons he's being played, then he deserves to be with Iron Man.
Okay, yeah.
We'll just
So
never
it's-
see it. We'll never see.
So-
we'll never see that like
C
insane
or
Spider-Man
B?
Ignite.
What are we doing here?
B.
C?
B.
Yes, they
B.
they serve the same
B?
purpose and they're fine. See,
See, okay. It's
Okay,
early, but
we're doing C. Sorry,
It doesn't
Necros.
matter. It's esports.
I'll
We don't
fight
see.
for
We
that
don't see.
I'll fight for that.
Necro, stop watching.
Storm.
That's good,
What are we
that's good.
wanting for Storm?
I
A.
mean, Storm's A, maybe B, but Storm's really used for attack side rollouts mainly to get through the siege, through the
He
triple
fits
triple.
in with the Namor. She needs it with the Namor and the Moon Knight. Certain
Situational.
situations, certain
Yeah.
compositions for certain jobs.
And the damage boost is always good. You know,
Yeah, the
having that
lightning
as
boost
well.
got buffed.
Yeah. Punisher, we thinking A?
I feel confident with A. I think there's a chance he'll be S, but I don't have enough data to back myself up yet, so
Mhm.
I'm happy with A.
Yeah, kind of like middle, right near Moon Knight is where I'm thinking right now.
He's
And then,
honestly,
in
in my
know-
mind, he's better than all the duels.
Yeah,
Deadpool's gonna be S.
He's S.
Yeah,
Triple S.
easy.
He's triple S. He's
exactly.
gonna be triple S
Mhm.
because he's the most important hero release since release of the
You know,
game.
that is valid.
we got a taste of how, and how do we know? Daredevil, beloved hero, beloved character, great TV show. They treated him right on release, make him broken as hell. Gambit, same thing, beloved hero, broken on release. Rogue, not as broken. Deadpool, 100,000%.
He's gonna be
gonna be
broken.
busted.
He's gonna be broken.
There's no reason to not have him be broken.
His ult is gonna be, you can't ban me. That's gonna be his ult. He's gonna find a way to be unbannable. That's his ult.
Oh,
Alright?
That would be hilarious.
maybe that's
actually.
why he's locked
because-
right now, because you can't ban him.
There you go. He's just locked forever. You can't ban Deadpool. He's guaranteed in your game. Nah, it's not.
Yeah, that'd be
He's the
so
seventh
cool.
player in every game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're just gonna put him at the top of SS for now.
Yeah,
That's all fun.
just leave him there
Now that
for
we
now.
see this list, though, anyone we need to adjust, you guys think, up or down in terms of these heroes? I mean, Dan, do you have any specific thoughts or emotions about some of these heroes we see, or are we pretty much locked in?
I think it's pretty solid.
Okay.
Like if we're talking in perspective of professional play, this is pretty much what we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense for the most part. Liger, Tetcher, any thoughts? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I feel like the only one that I would have a big question about is Daredevil. Like, does he fit? Like, Daredevil, Punisher, and Loki, do they live where they are right now? But that's because we don't have the data to back
True.
that up.
Yeah.
And if we were worried about the order, I'd put Gambit and Invisible Woman ahead of Emma.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
Magneto.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
If we cared about that, but yeah, those are the only ones I'm really concerned about. Otherwise, I feel fairly happy with what we've done.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this makes sense
Yeah,
for the most
I
part.
agree with you on
Probably
that.
move
Loki
Rogue down a little bit.
Loki Punisher. Part of me
Yeah,
wants
no.
to swap Loki and Punisher, but nah, it's all right.
I don't think we need to swap them yet because again, we don't know yet.
Yeah. This
I
is
would
like
keep Rogue above
speculative.
Strange. If you're
Yeah,
in a team
that
fight
makes
and a
sense.
Strange is ulting, guaranteed your Rogue is canceling.
I
it.
think
like,
Hela
too easy to
and
cancel.
also having Phoenix above her though makes sense though, just because like
We're
how
gonna see some
relative
yeah.
we've
incredible
seen.
rogues.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I can't wait.
once like people figure out the combos and like the cancels for the recharge and everything, it's gonna be nuts.
That'll get crazy.
I think really what Rogue needs is just someone who knows how to maneuver around, and like pro players know how to do that, right? Like we haven't seen it in the lower ranks, but some of the plays I've seen from like the people who've just been playing it all the way to like eternity and stuff, it's been nuts. So it's gonna be fun.
Because
after you.
Yeah. Sorry. Basically, it's what her role was, the brawl. Like, who else is there? Thing, Cap. Very simple in hero, like movability. You need people to pick up Rogue who understand like hero. It's like skill ceilings, like combos, fighter techniques, which is not the role that she's in right now. So you need different people to be actually picked up into teams. I don't know what that would be. Would that be your what is it? Who's the other most complex hero? Spider-Man? Like, is your I don't think your Spider-Man players are going to be your Rogue players in esports. Like, I don't know what role combos like. Maybe your Emma players might be the Rogue.
I've seen more Spider-Man playing Gambit actually.
I would say keep it simple, but you've just got to look at who are the other meta vanguards right now, and those are at the look at our double S tier. We have Emma and Magneto, both of which will play beautifully with Rogue, because Emma and Rogue we've already talked about. The double crowd control combo can really displace. The Magneto can bubble Rogue so she can get in and actually do work. Those two just being meta and being the main meta vanguards mean Rogue will be okay. And that's always going to be important about where you fit in. Look at the strategists. Gambit's up there, Invisible Woman's up there. They keep Rogue safe and even give Rogue a little bit of AoE in the form of Gambit. True. She fits in with the meta, so I think we will see her for that reason.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. And like all the heroes we see below her, like she does really well against. Like even if there's a good Fantastic player, I think she does great against Fantastic personally. Can really like charge them down, and there's not much they can do against her. So yeah, there's some good looks for that. I really hope we see some more Blade though. Like Blade's just like a fan favorite of mine personally. I want to see more Blade.
I think he might shoot up to S tier. I think we just need to wait. I think he's got the kit now. He does work in the meta as well with the way the Vanguards are. As you said, Tetra, like he actually kind of works in that. Yeah. It really would help, especially against triple strategist.
The problem is there is so much crowd control, but we have Gambit.
Yeah. Gambit with Blade. Ooh, I like it.
Purified pretty good.
Starting to cook. Okay, well,
10 stacks with a Royal Flush Blade. It's painful. It's painful. I've seen it.
That's very true. Okay, well, that's enough talking about our kind of like meta thoughts here with our tier list that we have for this one. Let's talk a little bit about the roster mania. We're going to kind of go through this as quickly as we can, but there's a lot to go through for it. So I think the kind of best way to do it, and let me just adjust my screenshot. I'll come back to us for now, talking about it while I do that, is going through like the EMEA and America's rosters, and then I'll rely on Dan, of course, for Pacific a little bit more. Same for Liger, for those teams that came from OCE, or the team that came from them, if there were changes. But I kind of just want to talk specifically about the rosters that we had from Ignite Grand Finals, now going into the kind of off-season, testing the waters, seeing what rosters we'll see for MRC specifically. And there's been a decent amount of changes that have occurred in that time. So I'm just going to list some off. We'll give our thoughts as we kind of go through them. 100 Thieves, I think the main thing is there's 2 players at least that are on full teams right now. The rest of them kind of playing on a pickup squad called Mutants. They used to be Mutants before they got picked up by the 100 Thieves roster for Ignite. Terra is now on Na'Vi, which is massive for him to be on that squad. That was a pickup that was leaked a little earlier because he joined their squad before the announcement even came out. And then Harvey on Guangji is another EMEA team out there. So 2 members of 100 Thieves moving into the EMEA region, and they were one of the teams who were putting up some good numbers against these squads. I mean, Tetcher, as Mr. EMEA on this podcast, what are your thoughts?
Terra is, and I've been saying this since mid-season, it was my first time really seeing him. It's not my first time because I was casting MRC just on my own YouTube back in Season 0 and saw Mutants. But seeing Terra at mid-season was my first time of this is legitimately a star player. And I thought it's very similar with Jerky when I first started seeing him come through in Ignite Stage 1. You've now got 2 of the best hit scan players in the game who have all that level of flexibility. Jerky has been on the hit scan role for a lot, but he's also very flexible. He started off as like a little bit of a Jeff cheeser in like ranked stuff. He was a lot of DPS Jeff back in the day, so he's got that that cheekiness, that little bit of flexibility that it takes to bring out something you don't expect. And now you have someone like Terra who is just that good. This roster's really scary. You've got players who are so intelligent. We talked about it earlier, the Trust Me tech. Fate, one of the people who like really pushed for that. I mean, it's been long enough. We can probably talk about it now. Like that at mid-season, we were like looking in on them and seeing Fate come out and just be like, we want to play the Jeff, and like Crook, Trust Me, is just like, I don't know, and he's like, I want to play Jeff, and it worked. Got them their mid-season finals championship. This roster is intelligent. It is skillful. I am scared for anyone who goes up against them.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for any teams to go up against them as well. So, I mean, that's a very solid roster. And then, of course, as I was mentioning, Delena, Vinny, and Melania also on Mutants. They'll be playing with some of their former teammates from FlyQuest, but that's not like an actual roster yet. They're just playing for MRC because some of them are on loan. Some of them are still looking for other rosters for them. TTK, notably, not playing in MRC from what I saw, maybe just taking a bit of a breather. So, sad to not have them participate, but I guess it makes sense you want to take that time as you can, because you only get so much of an off season in terms of competition for a lot of players, and they got to take all of the breathers that are available to them, especially with tryouts and everything that'll start up sometime soon. Are currently starting, like right before this, there was deadlines barely made by some of these teams to sign up. I think a week out, we had like 156 teams in Americas, then ended up 500 plus. So like so many signed up in the last day. It's crazy on that side of it. So talking a bit more about the EMEA side here for a second. Citadel Gaming imploded. Their roster, they've let their contracts expire for most of their team, but Polly did get announced today as the first member back. Pokey on the other end too, though, playing on a different roster for their squad. They're going to be playing on the side of Busy at Work / Aim to Kill, and then Tanuki is subbing for Navi. I mean, these are some interesting changes that we're seeing for this team specifically. I mean, any thoughts from the others before we go to Tetcher, our EMEA expert, of course?
It's just a little bit crazy right now. It's just the whole roster mania with MRC going on, and with it no public announcement of their plans for next year. It's just a little bit of a Wild West moment where people are still figuring things out as the first year of pro play concludes. So yeah, I know it's not going to be like set in stone after this. So we might see even crazier changes after MRC.
Yeah, I mean, Citadel Gaming is probably one of the most like invested orgs, especially in the scene. Like they would make content with their players, with their coach, with their subs, with their staff, take media. They did a lot. So to see like you said the team implode, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because like I felt like that team was very much family. So maybe like we're in the early stages of Rivals Esports, but part of you wants teams to kind of like work through the issues, come back better. But yeah, it's going to be roster mania. There's no contract, so you might as well mix it up and experiment until the day of, decisions to be made. And then, man, that's crazy. But yeah, to see Polly resign, Captain Polly, that's a strong base for Citadel's
that's a big one.
New roster to build around.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what the like full announcements will be coming for their 2026 roster. And it sounds like the team that they're signing, whoever it will be with those players, are going to be the ones to stick through them through thick and thin through the year. So they're taking their time, looking at the opponents that'll be going through MRC, seeing if they can probably snipe any of those out for their roster too, right? Depending on who performs well. Like this is a huge moment for MRC in general for these players. If they aren't on an org, like we saw Terra get picked up immediately for Navi as soon as he was available. I knew someone who was still keeping their roster would pick them up as quick as they could, and well, it makes sense that we saw it that way. But yeah, this is the time to showcase your skill for these players. So depending on how the rosters go and who pops off, I mean, we'll see some crazy moves after MRC Season 5 on that side. But yeah, back to you, Tetcher. I mean, Pokey playing with the Aim to Kill, Busy at Work roster, Tanuki subbing in on Navi. We might see it be a full thing in the future, who knows? But like, these are some crazy moves happening for the EMEA region already, just from the Ignite teams who made it to Grand Finals.
Absolutely. I think honestly something that we don't talk about as much is not who we're seeing playing with who, because like you mentioned, we are seeing a couple of the Ignite teams that made it to those grand finals playing with very interesting players like Tanuki, like Pokey. But what is very interesting to me is who we're not seeing play. And that, for example, is we can kind of discount Virtus Pro because they are currently for
They are the team to beat.
1,000 years we've laid dormant, preparing for next year. But not seeing players like Enzo, Alex, Ken. Where is Melio right now? What is happening with Naga and Crisis? While Crisis is still subbing for Na'Vi, where are they? What is like? Where are they going after this? So there's a lot of question marks in the air right now of where are these big players going? In the actual MRC rosters, which we'll get to a little bit later, you see a lot of experienced players also making these moves. So, but there are a couple still missing. So it's very interesting to see like who's taking a break right now and who's trying to power through, because burnout can be an issue for players if you keep going, which is why off-season is so important, although we do have a very long one because we still have no announcements yet.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get those soon, probably in the new year at this rate, based on like how much time there is left for it, is my guess. But who knows when it will happen? Who knows? Even when I post this, there might be an announcement at that point. That'd be dope. But either way, like talking about these teams, yeah, we could pray, we could hope, but it probably won't happen. Let's talk a little bit about Asia here, Dan. They imploded a bit. Specifically, we saw some snipes from Genji. We saw Reject just completely come apart at the seams and be taken over by some other rosters out there. Crazy Raccoons got like team members from Genji and Reject. Tell us like what's happening with that roster.
Okay, so I think the theory, right, from me at least, because Crazy Raccoon throughout the entirety of 2025 had a Japanese frontline and the rest of the team was Korean. Apart from stage 2 and grand finals where they brought in NX, an American duelist. And I feel like maybe it might have been like a communication thing. Maybe they decided, hey, why don't we just overhaul this roster, make it one nationality so that we don't have to worry about communication and just focus on the tactics of the game. And I think that's the approach that Crazy Raccoon did, because they literally dropped NX, they dropped a few other players, but then they brought in some huge names, most notably a Gargoyle. And I believe there were I think Gargoyle was the big one. I forget if
they also
I could also Piggy also from Reject, Gargoyle from Reject, and I'm like blanking out off the top of my head because I forgot my main monitor is the backup camera, so I have to get on my phone.
It, man, if you want to take a sec.
Okay, so Crazy Raccoon brought in Gargoyle, Piggy, both from Reject, Brownie, who made an appearance on Genji for a bit, and then they brought in a new player, Yaki, who is going to be the duelist on the team. So that means Gargoyle, instead of being one of the best Bucky players in the world, now goes back to playing Vanguard.
Yeah, I think Yaki was a pro from another hero shooter as well on their side.
Yes. And now
what's happened to NX? Where he's
not entirely sure. I don't think I've seen where NX ended up.
An American
I could do some digging around in the Americas MRC, see if his name pops up anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't specifically seen them pop up either, so I feel like there's a lot of players too like playing under alt accounts in MRC, so we'll like eventually see once it gets to the later stages, oh, this team's really good. Why are they good? Oh, it's because it's actually this player on their roster, right? So there's a couple
it's Virtus Pro. It's Virtus Pro.
It's Virtus Pro actually.
Oh.
Yeah. They're actually playing on multiple different teams while they can. No. We did see OUG apparently is also playing in China. I haven't had a chance to look at the roster, but good to see that the org's still around on that end. Chopper Mag, for the most part, they are sticking together, but they have a couple changes here, Liger. You want to tell us about them?
Yeah. No, look, honestly, their front line's looking the same, going strong with Duepens and Starry. They've actually brought back, when they were the Ground Zero roster, winning Ignite Stage 1, they had 6. Crazy hella. Like, bro got 2 Hexa KOs.
That's right.
In the grand finals.
I can vouch for that. When he was playing on down payment in Stage 2, oh my god, he was actually going toe to toe with NX. I'll put it.
So he took a little bit of detour. Yeah, he took a detour to Stage 2 Asia, and then looks like now they've kind of got their starting roster, their diversified roster, obviously bringing in Bobo and Salvation from China, and it's looking good. Their subs are great too with Juicy and Leem.
True.
But they also brought in someone who was probably like flagship for Kanga Esports for a while, Donald.
Yeah, Donald.
Big mag. So Master Donald, as I say, LeBronald, we call him. So to see them all on one team, it's like that finals is probably going to be between Chopper Mag and Crazy Raccoon in the MRC Pacific. Like it's going to be crazy.
Well,
it's going
to be fun.
I can't wait.
That's going to be so fun.
It's going to be nuts. We'll talk more about the specific rosters to look out for those regions. Let's quickly go through the other changes that we saw for Americas, because some of these teams, they also fell apart. Envy, they do not exist anymore here on their side. So Envy, unfortunately, not participating currently. They paused operations from what we've seen with a lot of the different orgs out there. Hopefully they will return. But Tap is now on Mochimon, the top roster currently in Americas. If you look at the standings there for their side of things. Speedery not playing in anything. Same for Window and same for Nero. So I think these players may be taking a little bit of a back step. Kaluj is also now becoming a pro in another scene. So best of luck to them from what we've heard. So that'll be neat on their side. And then Month also joining Tap on Mochi. So it's interesting to see like which teams have players sticking with it in the offseason, playing on different rosters, and other ones kind of going back to their roots. I mean, Envy was the biggest what-if team, I feel like, at the Grand Finals, and they just did not put up what we expected from them. I just wanted to see so much more. I think most of the Americas fans were also thinking the same thing here, Tetcher.
Yeah, there was the... America in general seems to be very feast or famine. You have one team that seems to just have all the marbles, all the figgy pudding, and then all the others at international seem to struggle a little bit more. This year was the closest at the finals because 100 Thieves and FlyQuest did well, and both of those aren't safe. Yep. With 100 Thieves already making some big changes and FlyQuest making some choices.
Yes, yeah. Oh, speaking of FlyQuest, we can go specifically to that because I think it shows it. Vision no longer with the team and Legit no longer on the team as their coach. Yeah. On that side, they might even lose Zealous at this point because we did see them playing with Busy at Work / Aim to Kill on the other side of things. So that's a really good roster to look out for.
Now Vest is playing with a combo.
Yeah, Vest is with Mutants, that's Spark Chief, Energy, and then some of the 100 Thieves guys. So I think that's more of like a lone roster. But yeah, that one's going to be one to look out for MRC. Vision back on Intergalactic for their team. So look out for that too. I'm expecting... big things for them. They're also no longer with FlyQuest, so it's not a lone situation on their side as well. So a couple of loans here testing the waters with Mutants, but then Cooper also on loan for Doom Crew. That's another team we'll talk about in a moment. Liger, did you have a thought?
Yeah. Basically, from what I'm noticing, the two best NA teams in Grand Finals basically merged into Mutants by MRC.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
So, super team being built. Maybe
it's going to be nuts.
Maybe a certain NA org that dipped maybe comes back, picks them up, watching MRC. You never know. Or if they pick either Thieves or FlyQuest to sign with. But that seems to be the move if the others have all split off to like sprinkling different teams there. That's crazy because I actually thought FlyQuest would stay together. I feel like what an experience to go through. Like, I know it was a bit rough towards the end, but like dominant for so long.
I think the big thing too for them is like a lot of their contracts are expiring soon, like some of the players that are even on the roster right now. So we'll see if they do resign. I think it all also depends on whenever that announcement comes in for next year. If it comes soon enough, then they'll probably pick up some of the newer players out there and keep the ones that they have, or they'll go for a complete rebuild. And I think that's what a lot of the orgs out there are looking for, are those complete rebuilds, because they want to be the winners, right? Virtus Pro is the team to beat, and this offseason is the time to figure out those pieces you need to take them down. So I'm just excited to see what those pieces are going to come together as, because we're going to see some interesting combos that we did not expect come out of this. And Dark Zero, they completely no longer together as a team either. I don't know if they'll come back in the scene. I don't think I saw a specific announcement for that, but Rymazing and Karova teaming up on Lunex Gaming. That's a good roster to look out for. We'll go over that in a moment. Smash also on Mutants. So again, that team's just insane. Three of the best rosters that we saw from Americas having members on that one. Impunity onto Intergalactic, and then Madara and Velocity on Team Guilty, which is another decent roster there. Kind of towards the lower end for some of their teammates, but still some good faces on that one. So I like all of the Americas teams really finding decent players and rosters to focus on for Americas, really opening the playing field, I would say. Because like in EMEA, I would say we have Navi, and then like the rest of the teams that are out there in MRC, right? For Americas, it's kind of open for the most part. You would think it would be Mutants, but they haven't played together for a long time, the entire roster of it, right? And then Pacific, as you were talking about, Dan, Crazy Raccoon probably, and Chopper Mag are like the two to look out for the most part there. So I don't know. I think these roster moves so far that we see from at least those top teams out here have been decent. We don't know if they're solidified yet, though, until like the actual whatever next year holds is going to be. But I mean, thoughts across the board, Dan? Decent moves for the most part for your region specifically, or are we thinking like, I don't know, you just want to see more from it?
I mean, all the top teams are making really good changes. Like I don't know if all the organizations that we saw in the Asia scene are gone or are either rebuilding, but most of the players that were released from like top teams, most notably Reject, have found homes in other rosters, so that's really good to see. And with still some other top orgs and different teams that have a chance to step it up for the next year. I mean, this is probably one of the most insane MRCs we've seen in a very long time, so if anyone is out there thinking about, hey, maybe I want to see what people are doing in MRC, now, do it now. Now is a good time to do it.
As somebody currently in MRC, 102nd team at the moment.
Hey, there we go.
Doing great. two wins out of 10. 2 wins. We're getting eliminated next week. Now, one thing I want to mention that Pacific specifically, from paying attention to the numbers, they're finally building rosters of about 7 to 9 people. That has been something lacking. True. And we saw on literally the grand final stage, that swap in from Crisis changed the tide. You need to stop relying on the perfect 6 stack, I think, in my opinion. I think Marvel Rivals, the hero pool is so diverse now. You can't get these top echelon players mastering 3 different types of duelists. Honestly, 3 different types of vanguards. And your strategists are getting even more diverse now. I would not be surprised if these rosters are actually starting to size up. Your average is going to be 8 players, because that seems to be the key. And swapping and like getting in fresh talent mid-series is going to help way more going into the future. I know that's going to affect the esports budgets of these teams, but you want to win. You need to have as many resources as you can going into it. And right now, if your solid 6 is lacking something, you're just going to lose. You're just going to lose.
I feel like you can add on to it, right? Like some players have different play styles, right? Some are well suited towards hit scan, some are well suited more towards dive. So if you're able to like mix and match according to the matchup, I think that really could be valuable. So maybe that's a strategy they could approach. Yeah,
it's even across roles. Yeah. Some people are flyer experts, so they're your Angela and your Ultron and your like Human Torch player at the same time. Like it's like maybe there's no role lock for a reason in this game, guys. Maybe there shouldn't be a role lock with your actual players. Stop thinking traditionally. Think for the next 10 years. Try something different. So far, teams that have implemented that have seen results across all 3 regions at the moment. So MRC, I don't know. Keep your eye on it. MRC, I think that's where we're going to see a lot of experimentation, because these rosters are averaging 8 people at the moment. Like there's a lot of subs, there's a lot of experimental gameplay. Every time we see, like we can see the record in-game of their matches, the roster of players is not the same 6. They're actually testing different lineups, testing different compositions according to each map. And I'm keen for that.
I'm keen to see the exact spot you are in the Pacific region is actually 102. So shout out. There we go.
There he is.
There you go. 102.
There's a rogue MVP. There's a rogue MVP game in there somewhere. I was MVP rogue. Here we are.
Okay, let's start with the Pacific region here. We'll go to EMEA after, then end off with Americas as well on the side. Actually, we'll do Americas then EMEA, because Americas, there's a lot to talk about, but it's also not as much to talk about, I would say, as EMEA with some of the changes we saw there. So let's talk a little bit about Crazy Raccoon on this one. I mean, Dan, you talked a bit about the changes, but they are like one of the top teams to beat right now in this region specifically. Them, and as we saw, Chopper Mag, like their battle's going to be legendary. I can't wait for it.
I mean, there's still other teams that really could do really well, like Z10.
That's true.
That's one I've been looking
right here.
at.
True.
They brought in Kaidia, they brought in Marvel from Reject. He was a really consistent dive Vanguard on Reject, and you bring him into Z10. Oh my god, this team might go up a notch.
I'm expecting big things.
Z10 did win MRC back in, I think, season 2.
Yeah,
I know Arcadia came second in season 0 and has been consistently good since then. They were one of my first players that I was a true fan of, and I still hold out that they are one of the best Namors in the world. And they went their time on Gen G, they just did not let them play it, and it made me real sad.
I think one underdog team that I do want to mention is XOXO01.
Yeah.
They are a team that really like to play dive, and if you want Spider-Man gameplay on the pro stage, XO is the team to watch because Hongjok Woo is my Spider-Man goat.
There's also from O specifically Fury. They won the last MRC. Potential for them. But another team, a team that gave Chopper Mag a run for their money, Vulcan Red as well.
Yeah,
and they've also internationally stacked up as well. So they're a good team. Like having Rescue now as a lead, that's big. They've really shaped up. They're like in there, like straight up, yo, everybody, Jarvis, get us into hardware mode. Like this is ground up right now. So the last time they did this, they shot up to the second best team in the region. So
that's true.
That was the biggest issue with OC. Everyone was saying, "Oh, if Chopper Mag keeps sweeping, why do you guys deserve a second spot?" Vulcan Red's trying to prove they do. So that's the team to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Shout out again to Wav and Daxu for the interview as well. It was great to talk to those guys. And yeah, they want to prove themselves. They want OC to get more of a spotlight and have a second spot. And they're trying to be the reason for that, which is dope.
I'm surrounded by the people who are representing the region here, so I will just simply bring attention to some potential sleeper picks that could do good runs if they get some good matchups, and that would be Lunara, who are made up of people from E-Margin, and of course Lunara and other players from other rosters around that. Margin, Decapitate, and Vex are still together since stage 1. You put in our notes, Dan, so I appreciate that. There's some really good talent there. Bondagang is an entirely Indian roster who haven't done a perfect run. I think they did lose against one of the top teams earlier. They're a strong team. They've been around since stage 1. They play very aggressively, but they've been playing since stage 1, so they might have adjusted, they might have evolved. They always place well. They've just not really placed like notable outside of some quarterfinal finishes in Ignite qualifiers. And the other one, this is my sleeper pick, Good Boy. That is a team that's been around since season 0. It's mostly it's no longer the majority of like the original players anymore, but they are still strong. Yeah. Searcher does not like it where it requires you to have perfect capitalization.
Does it really?
Capital G.
Yes, it's actually case sensitive. That's crazy.
Yep.
There we go.
You can see they're currently middle of the road, but they have a lot of potential. They have, like, as you can see, they've done some pretty solid MRC finishes in the past, and have some really good players. It's consistency that's the problem. Aim High is an extremely proficient player. V-Trees is good. They have some really good stuff going on there. It's just I'm waiting for them to actually show up at one of these events since their first real success in MRC Season 0.
Let's see who they face off against as well. Vulcan Red, yeah, that's tough.
Vulcan Red, yeah.
So not as much luck as they would like, but again, they still made it into the top cut on that end for their squad. Team I want to shout out though, Gosari here as well. That's one to look out for on their side.
Some interesting usernames.
Yeah, not real faker. Fake faker. Also fake Ignar as well. Ignar was a league player, so I mean, it could be the real one. We don't know for sure, but yeah, it isn't. This is a team to look out for.
I've seen Faker play Valorant. It was a little bit of a yikes.
Yeah, Hoodie, Roko, and Solman are pretty solid on this team.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm expecting some decent looks from their squad as well.
Yeah, Rocco and Solomon do have Ignite experience, so they can bring that to the table.
I think Xavier Hope was also a team that I saw that have played before.
Tamer, Stuffy, Waffle, Fish, Scrappy, Spocky, Lil Monix, Nevoy,
Bypass them.
Secret, and Trump Card, which I'm not familiar with the Trump Card.
I'm not sure if the fish in this roster is the same as the one in Rocket University back in stage 2. Because that one had
risk with these.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the same fish because the other time it was fish with a ton of H's. So
yes,
I would go with the assumption that it's not, but you never know.
Yeah, 80 points is not bad.
Yeah, there's a University League team here as well. Shout out Matsi, he would know them. Peter the Panther, OPWL, Genzo, Joji, Rexy, Skid, Floop, Nova, Winter, and Yu Yang the One reference.
That's DN Redeem. Redeem?
All capitals, DN Redeem.
DN Redeem. Wow, I've read that real weird.
Do not redeem.
Do not
redeem.
It's do not redeem.
Do not redeem. Do not redeem the card. Yeah. Why did you redeem the card?
That was a great
Peter the Panther is scary.
Peter the Panther's frightening. Joji, specialist on Bucky. I cast the Joji, get 3 Hexa KOs in one map. Like, insane. Like, that's a Bucky player. But
awesome.
University League teams are awesome to see, so I like that.
Doing better than some of our sleeper picks. Shout out to them. I think that's like a huge thing for them. But yeah, I'm excited for the matchups. I mean, who do we think are like the front runners? So we have Crazy Raccoon, of course, Chopper Mag. I think Osari is gonna like upset a lot of teams out there. Z10, Fury.
Z10 have a chance.
Yeah, Z10 looks solid. Vulcan Red, of course. XOXO. I mean, they did really good. Yeah, like those were the ones when I talked to Vulcan Red that they were worried about was Gosari, XOXO, and Crazy Raccoon specifically. They didn't even mention Fury really. Oh man. I mean,
because I think people sleep on Fury because they're a pure Australian roster. They don't have international diversity on their team.
Yeah.
So
they're okay. They played well.
They do have Neil. They have Neil. Neil is Neil is a Korean player.
Yeah, they did change up their roster.
They won their MRC, but their Ignite performance.
Yeah, the previous team. That was a bit rough.
We'll have to see. I think that's the big story for a lot of these teams on how they will perform. Will it be enough? Depends on when they meet each other right in the actual bracket itself. So that's going to take some time to get to that point because there's the closed qualifiers technically next weekend, and then after that is when the actual stage starts. So that's going to be where the excitement happens. Yeah, the double elim. We'll actually get to see some decent matchups. Probably not the first round necessarily for a lot of these regions. More like the second and third is when it typically goes down for it, but still great to see the participation here as well. Speaking of participation, I want to kind of take a quick look at the numbers that they had towards the end here as well. 158, not too bad. We didn't see as many sign up at the start, but it's nice to see that it still rounded out to a decent number there as well. Because I remember seeing on the Pacific numbers for Ignite, those were relatively low last time. So nice to see it, even though the rank is a little bit of a different requirement, of course, for this, but participation good nonetheless, I would say. Let's go with Americas on this side. They had crazy participation. I said before it was 150 when I checked a week before, and then they ended up with I think 513.
Wow.
Yeah, so one team didn't make the predicted second qualifier on that side, which is kind of crazy. But the rosters, we talked about them a little bit. Mochi is really good. Month Tap that they have, Nectar, Stravery, Techie XD, Fraud, AAD. I mean, this is a team to look out for, but I don't know how well they're going to rank here, right, Tetcher, compared to some of the other squads we were talking about earlier.
There are so many super teams. In terms of EMEA's got some really interesting pairings and triples and stuff like that. America's is just we just throw all the players into a pad and just snake it up as hard as we can and just see what comes out, because some of these are really interesting. The Shikigami roster is pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, Mochi Mob, Ego Death is still strong. Doom Crew is a crazy mixed roster there with so much potential. Loon X with Crimzo and Korova and Rymazing. This is, in my opinion, I think the Americas might be the spiciest region where we could see the biggest because oh my god, some of these are so good.
Yeah, let's just quickly go through them.
Lark.
Yes. I don't think it's going to be one team necessarily is going to be the favorite going to this. I mean, a lot of people will say Mutants, of course, 100 Thieves and FlyQuest together as a team with Smash also on there too from Dark Zero. But like this is the team to beat, I would say, outside of any of the roster. But we also haven't seen them play together in so long,
Well,
and I think that's the big thing too.
I would say they would be. I mean, yeah, they're the Ignite players, but I would say the team to beat wouldn't it be We Lost, previous champions for season 4.
Yeah,
Didn't they win season
so
4?
The thing
They
is, for
did.
like season 4 though, none of the Ignite teams and players could participate, right?
Oh, that's
so
right.
like
Yeah.
that's the big
It's the
thing. Is
Ignite
like
MRC,
yeah. So like
Yeah,
they do
never
have
mind,
some
yeah.
new
This is
new faces. Like they have Light, of
Mhm.
course, who used to be on FlyQuest. Kendrick's really solid too. Borderline's
Mhm.
really good. Like all the players on Yeah We Lost are good, but they also had a lot of
Mhm.
players were poached as well for some of the other rosters too. So
There's also
Are there
a
any-
little bit of revenge
Ooh.
potentially in for a couple of these players on Yeah We
Yeah.
Lost. Like if we look at Momentum, for example,
Yeah.
they were one of the players. Sorry, Light, for example, he was originally a player on FlyQuest, so
Yeah.
that is an interesting one. He was the Iron Fist merchant. Momentum was a player on the. I'm trying to remember the name of the team that qualified through MRC for Ignite, and then the
Mhm.
roster basically got sold to like the roster.
Oh,
got
yeah, they didn't
replaced
get
and the
picked up
slot
'cause
was
of it,
sold,
yeah.
and it was replaced by YFP, and Momentum and all that lot didn't make it through.
oh,
Arrival
Odyssey,
7,
is that
that's
who it
the
was?
team.
Yeah, it was Odyssey.
Yeah, they got the team replaced, but there's a couple of these players who are just like, we had our opportunity and are going to be looking to come back in and try again.
Yeah, I hope good things for this roster. I mean, great people on the team over there. Ego Def returning is dope. Self, I'm
Yeah.
sad
Oh,
we
yeah.
won't see probably any Black
Hell
Panther,
yeah.
but hey, I mean, this is a great roster too. Valentina, nice to see that she's getting a shot again too. I know there were some like shakeups with this roster specifically down to the last moment on who's going to be on the team.
Ooh.
Tones is good. Tico is solid as well. Vicer also very solid on this team. So like, this team has potential, but I don't necessarily think they're going to be like the top contender to win it necessarily on their side for Americas. But keep an eye out for them. Doom Crew, I think, has a lot of potential, right? Krasmang, Scatter Genji. They have Melophobia on the team, Rengai, Amadian. Like, this roster is nuts, I think, for Doom Crew personally. And I worry for a lot of teams that are going to face off against this squad because they have the potential. They've been playing together before this as well for a lot of these players too. So they got like a decent support staff for them. Basically, it's ex-Nemesis with some changes. So that's another team like we haven't talked about. So many of the teams outside of the ones who even made it to Ignite also just completely changed their roster looks on that side too. So many changes that have happened. Nightmare Academy, they've got a bit of a different roster than they had. So they have some really good players that have won MRCs before, like Affecting that we have. Drill Master's really good. Paradox is solid on their squad too. D-Spooky, like there's so many teams in Americas to keep your eye on that we could spend like an
Yeah.
hour probably going through all of them. So I'm just going to quickly go through like some of the rosters so you can see like who is on these teams to really look out for. But honestly, if you just go into the first stage of MRC and just look at the teams towards the top, those are your teams for the most part to look out for. Like, I don't really know anyone on Deathseeker personally, but aside from that, Cafe Rose, Rad Academy, Flark, as we were talking about, Aramori's on this team, Pizza Demons on this team, LLE Choppa's on this team. Like, there's so many good players out here to keep an eye on. Shikigami, of course, they officially announced their roster today too for the squad. So Arcel, shout out on their side. Sleepai, Sombol, Z-Cube, like these are all names we recognize from Ignite for their side. Intergalactic, that was a team who did eventually make it into Ignite themselves too. And this is another crazy team. Like, why is there so many good teams in Americas? I feel like EMEA typically is the one that's like more stacked for MRC.
Yeah.
So I guess this
No,
is their time to
it's-
like try and find an org or something. I don't know.
Call me crazy for this one, and call me like a sellout for not like back in my own region here, but God, America looks fun to watch
Yeah.
for this
They
MRC.
look
Oh my
insane.
God.
Whoever is casting MRC
Here's
for the
another
Americas,
crazy
they
team,
are
like-
eating good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bring
yeah,
that
that
up.
too. Yeah.
they're everywhere.
Oh, what the? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah, like these teams are nuts. Help me, they're solid too. There's just so many good squads out. We have a new Dilducks roster here as well. Like, And there's
that's
some
a
teams,
hybrid Sentinels roster right there.
Yeah,
Holy
Extinction,
Extinction's
yeah.
back as
Yeah,
well.
that's crazy.
This
Yeah.
was a team who was tearing up the actual like tier 2/tier 3 scene the past couple of weeks too. They won like everything. So definitely keep an eye out on this squad too. They got some awesome support staff on their end as well. But shout out Alfie for that team. But yeah, we lost Academy. Even looks decent with some of the players that are on this squad. Like Upset looks really
Does
good.
that one have Day? Is Day there?
Yeah, Day's there.
DMR.
Isn't that rank 1 Spider-Man? That's rank 1
Yeah.
Spider-Man, right?
It is.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yo, I'm king. Holy.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
Ah.
good teams that are out here for this one. I don't think there's anyone necessarily towards the end. 99 Thieves was decent from what I saw. Aim to Kill, there's the other team that we were
There it
talking about.
is.
They got
With
SJW,
Pokey.
Sunblaze,
DK
Pokey on this
Yeah.
roster. Pokey in
Yeah.
NA is crazy. Like,
Yep. We traded Pokey for Terra. and
Yeah,
I don't know who
I
came
guess
out
so.
better.
we'll see.
I think everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
Yeah, but there's so
there's-
many like good teams in Americas.
Yeah.
I think this is the most stacked the competition has ever been for the Americas side on their end. So
MRT for sure.
yeah, for MRC specifically, and this is the time to do it right. Like all eyes are going to be on this for at least Americas for MRC, just to see how these like pro players on these new rosters look and who's going to really rise above the rest. And I think it's anyone's game at this point. There's no like
Oh, yeah.
clear favorite in my mind on who's going to take it all. What do you guys feel about
There's no
it, Dan and
qualifying
Lager?
slot to Ignite either.
Yeah.
There's no qualifying slot for Ignite. There's no contracts are all kind of expired.
No.
Yeah.
Anyone's allowed to play. It's literally the experimental playing field right now. It's also in holiday time, so more people are free if some of these players have day
Larger
jobs.
rosters for
But,
that
like-
reason
oh,
too.
sorry, I
Yeah.
put the J word.
Yeah.
I apologize
Jump
saying
scare.
the J word to the kids out there. My apologies. Sorry, but nah, it's by all regions generally have. I would confidently say the top 16 in all regions. The talent is like gonna project probably the future, the next 6 months of whatever Ignite will be. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
say even for America's like more than top 16. Like some of these teams that won't even make top 16 are going to be ones you want to look out for the next stages of competition too. There's just so many good teams. America's is very stacked. So that's why I kind of want to go through that, and then we'll talk about EMEA here to round things off here. Want to give a quick shout out to the team that is at the top, Chicken Jockey. I did have a chance to message these players. They all have like palette in their name. They're apparently like mainly one-trick ponies that grind ranked, and they just made the team for fun, and they took on some squads. Specifically one team that we might recognize here, it was Insomnia. They managed to take a win against, which is crazy. And they wanted me to let people know is that, hey, they're playing with one of their players, Crab, who they had never scrimmed with before and beat Insomnia. So like that's kind of nuts to think about. Just,
That is pretty
just rank
impressive.
grinders that are top 500 and eternity players to look out for. So I just want to give
What
them
a-
a quick shout
Can
out.
we see?
Yeah.
Can we see what does Crab play? I want to know what each one trick is now. I want to see what the composition is.
Oh,
Yeah, you
we're
can even
going-
check their career. I see. Oh, tags.
Ooh, all the ST
Hasn't played
on
it.
cards.
There we go.
You could also, if
Holy-
you want, you could go to the match versus Insomnia, and you can literally look at the
Oh, you know
scoreboard
what?
at the
That's
end
true.
of the characters.
That'd be good.
You can see the
we could see.
the targets. The targets too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look-
Yeah, let's have a look. If you click on the players, it will show what they played as well. So if you click on Crab,
Oh, there you go.
Angela Mag.
Okay.
Okay.
Angela
it.
Mag. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Shout out.
Yeah, so that's the thing with an unknown variable one trick team. They're gonna destroy you the first time you meet. You have to download them after that, otherwise
Yep,
you're cooked.
exactly.
This is the joy of it. This is the joy of MRC, though. Anyone can play once you hit the rank
Mhm.
requirement. That's why it's always so
Yes.
exciting to join in, because you get something like this where
Yeah.
a team comes out and they
Mhm.
get the first 10 points.
Speaking of like anyone can play, look at this roster that we had playing for Navi this time.
Oh my God. Imagine you're
Jerky
just
24 final
just-
hits. Oof.
Imagine you're in a 6 deck, right? You're just getting ready to play MRC, and then you find a match, and then you see the 4 letters of death.
Yep. Black Widow, by the way,
Yeah, the
only played by Jerky that time.
Yeah,
final hit.
dude, like 24
That's
final
awesome.
hits on a Widow in the high level gameplay. Like,
You-
what
you-
is this? I remember seeing a
It's
clip.
just no one plays her.
Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing a clip of like a streamer and Jerky was on the enemy team, and then the feed would just be Jerky. Like I was just like, what the hell is this guy
That's
cooking?
why he got the top stats that were posted on the Rivals Esports Twitter, right? So like,
True.
you're just
Right,
bragging out.
yeah.
Okay, Tetcher, this is your like field of play. Who are the teams we want to look out for EMEA MRC?
Na'Vi is, of course, going to be the team to beat. It's their new roster. They've got some crazy stuff going on. But there are some other teams that we definitely need to draw attention to. Chopped is back basically in its entirety from the MRC, where they got from Ignite, where they got real
So
close to
close.
qualifying.
I think it was one
Atlanta.
game.
It was close. They are a very strong team with now some international experience, because while they did not go, a couple of their players did, because we had visa issues and we saw DRP and MASH were able to make their way over and put on a solid performance. They really showed up for the team that they jumped into, which was OUG. So they've now not only got a really good MRC under their belt, but they now also have an incredible LAN under the belt of some of the players, which you always see teams that come back from LAN will play either really well or really badly, because they've taken that experience and they've either learned it or they start to get in their own heads and get more nervous about it. But 100% Chopped are a team to watch. I already mentioned Insomnia, they are a big one. Dawncore and Plant Signage, they are two teams that are constantly in the top area when it comes to these big performances. But neither of them are currently having the. I mean, they're both in. Yeah. They've already qualified, but neither have had a perfect run as we are going through.
Lost a Foot.
Yet.
Makes sense.
Foot and Last Dance are one of the other ones that I want to bring out, because Foot were basically. Final Dance, not Last Dance. Foot and Final Dance have actually played each other in a tournament before on LAN. There was the Fnatic Assembled event where we saw Foot are so good at drafting, and I think that's always something that we're going to be seeing as we progress on. They also had a really good Ignite run, but Final Dance is a team to watch because they did go on to win that event, but they're coming in with not that same roster. They've managed to bring in Balas and Smashnez, with Leolas, who was on that team, has moved over to a team called Cooking with Kaya, which is another
roster.
Very scary
roster.
Boo-hoo, Frost Mountain, who was a big storm merchant when it came to a lot of those very creative rosters. This is one that could cause an upset. No Shower is basically a couple members from Ex Oblivion who also got a little bit bodied when it came to where the spots from Ignite landed after some MRC performances. With some new players like Zhu, we've got, of course, Dollar and Gator as well. They are a scary, scary team with a lot of potential. If we're talking about the Saudi teams, I know you've been looking at Lion, who have had some basically a combo of like
4 different Saudi teams,
Vicious and play teams like that. The player I want to point out on them the most is Satam. Satam has been consistently the best like Saudi player in terms of showing up in like every tournament that they're allowed in, and have performed the best. They've got Prime E leagues, they've got MRC performances. They're just yet to hit that top level, but they're a player to watch for sure. But there is one team that I want to bring out more than anything else, because it's good to see them back. We have Shmungus back for their first MRC in a while, but they have returned.
We're so back.
Where are they at? I know they're down here somewhere. They only played 3
matches.
There they are.
They're back. There they are.
Yeah,
they haven't played on their games yet. Perfect record so far, but they need to play the rest of their games. But yeah, Shmungus. And it's exactly who you expect on the Shmungus roster. We got Bogor, Andrew, Necros, Craggy, and KG, the double Ks for a spicy setup there. Desley is coming back in as well. Rigsy has jumped onto that roster, which I believe is a newer pickup, but is a really solid pickup for them. And of course, Jimbo, who is always ready to fill in when needed.
Oh yeah, this is a great team. Unfortunately, they don't have time to play the other matches because they have completed for the weekend. So they're in the close qualifier next week. Yeah,
they're live right now.
Oh,
half of them are live right now. Like, just play MRC. What are you doing?
The timeline has passed for those matches, like for the deadline for it. So yeah, they're technically the first team in the close qualifiers because of it.
Oh.
If they played one
right,
more
well,
match,
back
they
around.
would have made it to the next stage and been in the upper bracket. But now they have to start from the lower
No,
bracket.
they did
as a
that.
team.
They did that on purpose.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
they
did
wanted
that on
more
purpose.
content. That's what it was.
Yeah, they want to farm more content.
Yeah, I mean,
I see the vision. I see it.
There's not many teams to play against, and a lot of them didn't even like play as many matches, so they should easily make it through as like the top seed for it. But yeah, more content for them, which is good. More for the scene on that side too. Planet Signage also is back. Crownfall, that's another team we saw. I think they got second in last
crazy.
MRC. To keep an eye out for those squads as well. There was another one that I was just thinking of that did pretty decent.
300.
Guangji. This is a
Guangji.
team to look out for.
Harvey.
Harvey coming in
That one's on
back
me.
into EMEA. That's massive on their side. There's some teams or some players from other hero shooters now onto this one too, and I'm really hyped to see how this team does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Coach Sala.
that caught my eye. Sala is on this roster.
Sala's
And
on
they've
the
marked
he's
who is
coaching.
the coach from Citadel.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that is an interesting move there.
Yeah.
We'll see how we'll see if that means anything in the future, but that is a
Mhm.
cool move.
It's a dope
That's
roster.
big. That's easily top 5 coaches in the esport. Straight up in the esport.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like so that's big.
Insomnia, of course, they're back. They have a couple of different changes, though. Knuten's actually subbing in because some of the members are busy, is what he said, but there's also some more new looks on this team as well.
Yeah, there's actually something I wanted to bring up on that. Sestroid,
Yeah.
the substitute from Na'Vi, who is, in my opinion, one of the
Really
best
good.
players who has not yet got their flowers. They are so good at the game, but just have not been given their opportunity on like a main stage, main roster in quite a while. So I am so excited to see them in a different team now, so that they have the opportunity to try and just show exactly what they can do. But we'll see like what it comes to us in the future, because that roster is really strong.
Yeah, a really good
But
roster.
they've already lost a game.
Yeah, the games that they did lose, it was to that chicken jockey that we were talking about, and the
Chicken
Blight.
jockey.
I
Look at
couldn't
the
find
Blight.
anything really about them. I think they just didn't have the gel go for their team just yet, unfortunately. Dubai Matcha's back. They made top 16 last time. Pretty decent roster on there, and mainly Saudi players on that side as well. Propaganda, also another decent team for their squad.
Are crazy good.
Yeah, Biomachina, I mean, oof. But yeah, I mean, there's some really great teams here. Doncor, unfortunately, I think they just didn't have the most luck that they could have hoped for in terms of matchups. I don't know who this team is, but apparently they're decent
Yeah.
from what we've seen. So definitely keep an eye out for them. But
Russian team?
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like a Russian
Maybe.
team.
We
But
don't know.
That's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
probably.
I've been kind of waiting to hear about like a Russian team signing up or something soon.
yeah, so we'll see
Yeah,
how
we
they
don't
do.
know much about the players.
Yeah, we don't know anything
Yeah.
about them. But then they lost a foot. That's unfortunate to have to face off against them so early there as well. But yeah, there's a lot of great teams that are competing in MRC for, all regions that are available for this one. I mean, who would you say, aside from Na'Vi and probably Chopped, are like the ones to keep our eye on for the most part, Toucher?
I mean, I just listed the majority of them, but if
I
I,
know.
had to like
if you had to pick like
pick
one
the
team.
one team, I'm gonna pick 2 teams. If
Okay, that's fair.
okay.
That's fair.
I'm gonna be spicy. I'm gonna push my luck here.
Mhm.
Based on experience and the ability to, I think, perform really well and make something happen, I'm going to say that there's a lot of potential on Insomnia. You already mentioned Ganuta's bringing in there, but they also got Lime Pro, one of the
That's
best
true.
guiding CAD
Oh,
scoring
yeah.
team in the game right now. So that is good. And we have already seen in Ignite Stage 1 that Schmungus do have what it takes if they can get everyone in the game at the same
That's
time
the
to play
problem.
their games. Then they have what it takes to
Come
be
on,
some of the best
Schmungus.
teams in the world. So
That would be so fun to
I'm
watch.
leaning towards Schmungus and towards Schmungus and Insomnia
Insomnia.
as like solid safe picks as will place high, but there's a lot of potential for like, as we already said, Planet Signage, Crownfall, all these teams. 5F300H we mentioned in the
Yeah.
prep for this. They've got Challenge and Kyoshi's as well. They'll do a solid run, but it awaits to be seen. A lot of these teams are teams made up of players who have done well, but have not placed the highest. No Shower is ex Oblivione.
Yeah.
Foot made it to Ignite, but didn't have the best run. Final Dance are really good, but we don't know. Cookie Makaya, we don't know.
It's just
These
the
are new teams.
potential region is what it feels like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
but
You-
Navi's
yeah.
here, so
You know who's missing? Where's Silent Nova? The MLC season 4 winners. Because like, are any of them maybe on the Lions now?
I know one of their players is playing for
Yeah.
Lions, yeah. But aside from that, yeah, most of
Yeah.
them I think just didn't sign up, from what I can tell.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
But
Interesting, yeah.
That's fair enough.
Well,
Unless
another
it's
standout
Crab.
for my Foot Esports. That's another big standout. Keen to see
Yeah,
how they
Foot
do.
for sure.
But are
So they
solid.
smashed
Like, again,
yeah.
their drafting is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
interesting to see.
On a LAN,
I'm
performing well at LAN is a massive
That's
accolade.
huge. Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Silent Nova, Legendary. Okay, so Satam is Silent Nova. We already
Yeah.
mentioned them earlier.
Okay,
They're
there
one
you
of the
go.
best. Legendary, I think, is on one of the teams, but I haven't seen FCKL, and I don't think I've seen FZX either. So there are
Okay.
most of the players we're not seeing, it seems.
Yeah. It's sprinkled around, experimenting.
Exactly.
Again, it's experimental MRC.
Yeah.
It's the most
Yeah.
fun.
They might be there. There's a lot of teams. We
Mhm.
have not looked at every single team. We've just
Yeah,
done
there's
that.
so many
There's too
teams.
many. There's too many.
A lot of squads to look at.
Navi are here. So it's gonna be rough for
Yeah.
anyone. They are like they're the mutants / crazy raccoon chopper bag of the
Yeah.
NBA region. Right here, but in Final Dance and Kaya, and Chopped, of course. Put Chopped up there with Navi. Those are like the big obstacles to fight through. But there's always the argument of MRC drafts are very different. We saw that between
True.
Chopped in Ignite, where they almost made it to Atlanta, versus Chopped in MRC, where, and I sorry to the top players, they kind of got rolled by Vernus Pro, and it was brutal. Vernus Pro rolled into that MRC drafting system is a very different beast.
It's a
Yeah.
massive difference to really deal with on that side. Speaking of like MRC here towards the end, because we're just wrapping things up, we went through all the roster changes, everything in terms of tiers and all that. What do we think we're going to be seeing primarily in terms of comp? Like, are we going to see that triple strategist? Are we going to see some more like Rogue mixed in there? Is it primarily Gambit that's going to be the focus? Like, we've seen a little bit of it, but it's also against teams where you don't really have to try as much, right, in those open qualifiers. Now we're moving towards the closed qualifiers for those teams who didn't make it, but the double elimination stage is where it matters most here. I mean, Dan, what are your thoughts on what we're going to see for the comp meta for that double elimination stage?
It's the same pattern as every other season so far, right? There's too many things to ban out. Almost everything is strong. Like, you could argue like half the heroes, maybe more than that, are like competitively viable. And with the ban system coming in and with MRC naturally making more mirror matchups, it's gonna be, I don't know, we could see a mix of like almost every single composition. Like, we'll see dive, we'll see brawl, we'll see even poke compositions. Like Hella Namor is still like decently
So
strong
good, yeah.
still. Yeah.
And the
So
anti-heal you get from
we're
it
gonna
too.
have like all of those compositions going in. It really could evolve into a rock paper scissors kind of scenario with these matchups.
I'm excited. Liger, what are your thoughts on it?
No, actually, Dan made a great point. I completely forgot about that. The fact that MRC bans are in effect. I mean, are we sure? Yeah, no, it's definitely in effect.
It is, yeah.
They've already been playing on it. They're not going to change it. I mean, I think people were trying to petition for MRI bans to be the standard across all Rivals Esports. We'll see what happens. But for this now, right now, I'm sensing triple strategist is going to dominate. It's dominating everywhere, high elo, low elo, every elo. It's not fun for a lot of people, and they're expressing it very vocally, which is why I'm leaning to developing this secret underground meta of Brawl Dive climbing up. Because if anything's going to handle your triple strategist, it's coordinated, high-level esports dive. Dive is that meta in the history of this genre that will handle that massive healing pool composition. So with the Rogue factor, that'll help. With Deadpool, that'll help. I'm pretty sure is Deadpool arriving before MRC?
No, it's right
so.
after the finals.
Season 6.
Right
Yeah,
He'll be there for season
I think they
6.
said January
There you go.
12th. Yeah.
Are we getting a?
January
16th.
16th, I think, is when.
Yes, I think it is the 16th.
Are we gonna get a patch before like the finals of MRC? Maybe like a mid-season patch.
I don't think so. I think
Alrighty.
we
If
had
there's
our
anything
patch
that-
now because like it's 5.5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So unless there's
Yeah.
like some
Right,
like
true. Well, if
The next patch will be like either a balance patch or season 6.
yeah.
Yeah, if there is a like balance patch, to bring in the new year before MRC has its finals, I don't think a balance patch would change triple strategist that much. So I think we're just rolling with it.
Yeah.
I think it's just at that point, Blade, it's your time. Thank you, Blade. Rise up.
Please. That'd be awesome to see. Tetcher, what are your thoughts on MRC season 5 meta?
I think we will be seeing triple strategists, but I think it will start to get banned out pretty quickly. With Ultron and Mantis still being a menace, and with Jeff still being pretty solid, and with Rogue fitting in well, and if not, the main Vanguard still being very good in when comboed with that, we'll still see a lot of triple strategists with stuff like Star-Lord, with stuff like potentially the Phoenix, for example, any hypercarry, the Punisher. I still think it could be one that sneaks in there, especially if flyers start to become a problem. You want to just try and take him out as fast as possible. Hela Namor will still be seen play. I think the main vibe that we will likely see is triple strategists start to dominate, and then exactly like MRC, we'll see teams that can play double strategists the best will start to excel as they start to target out how these triple strat comps are played, removing stuff like the Ultron and the Mantis, the main priorities, in order to create dominance in your control when everyone else is used to the meta. We saw it at Grand Finals. Virtus Pro, they have the highest ratio of double strategist versus triple strategist of any team. Everyone else had played more triple strategist, and Virtus Pro won because they knew how to draft around it.
I'm just excited for whatever we see for MRC Season 5 meta because it's going to be different, at least a little bit, than what we saw before with all these new heroes that have been introduced since the Grand Finals. We have Rogue, we have Gambit, we have the changes to make Ultron more relevant again, finally. Anything that can happen here, the teams will pull it out of a hat and see if it works. This is the testing ground for the future of Marvel Rivals esports, in my opinion, especially for the teams in Americas, and there's no better time to be a fan of Marvel Rivals esports. You want to make sure you tune in whenever they bring it back for broadcast, but it's going to be a great time. I mean, double elimination is where it gets spicy. There's going to be some insane matchups happening across regions for that. I just cannot wait for it to happen. But we've gone on a bit long for the show, so let's get our final thoughts in here. Gentlemen, we'll start with Dan on this one and go down the line to close out how things have been going for Season 5.5, the hopes for Season 6 and beyond. The floor is yours, Dan.
I mean, we got to make the only takeaway after, looking ahead into Season 6, but Season 5.5 has been pretty solid. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I'm sure when we get into the competitive scene in MRC, I'm sure things will get even spicier. This is one of the more stacked MRCs, naturally, with Ignite being in the off season. So watch Ignite. You could see a few players coming
MRC.
out of nowhere. Yeah, MRC. Did I say Ignite? I might have said Ignite. Anyway,
Watch
MRC.
MRC.
That's what you want to watch. Because you can see some players that you recognize doing really well. You can also see some up-and-coming players. So you got two sides of the coin that you could expect going in. So if you want to have fun watching Marvel Rivals esports in 2026, now is the time to start.
There we go. Love it. Liger, what about you?
Ooh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Honestly, for me, Deadpool broken. Yes, give me Deadpool broken. On top of that, I want you to also make sure that canonically, because he's more insane than Deadpool, Moon Knight must counter Deadpool by default. Okay, I don't care. He's never been in meta. He's finally good. Give him the power to be the Deadpool counter. And then on top of that, I want Moon Knight in top tier play. I want him in S rank next time we do this.
Please.
S plus. Okay. And then on top of that, Rogue is amazing, and I hope we get to see some awesome higher tier gameplay from Vanguards. We're gonna learn the combos, learn the resets, just pure explosions. Give me dive, give me brawl, give me rush. However, I actually still kind of want to see Ultron succeed, and I like that his buffs mean we might get teams smart enough to run him as a second strategist. It doesn't always have to be triple.
That's
Ultron
true.
is good enough right now.
It's doable.
There's potential. What about you, Tetcher? What are your final thoughts?
I would like Deadpool to be released 3 days early so it comes out on my birthday, and that is all I have to say.
There we go. You've heard it, Netties. Make sure you do it. I mean, that would be such a Deadpool thing, though. Like, break out of the lock early and just release beforehand. Like, ooh, that'd be so cool. Or they have like some massive in-game event that happens, and he like breaks through the screen and all that. It's like, hey, you can use me now, and then you like load in as Deadpool. There's so many ways you can do that.
Just a random update. Random update one day. We're like, huh, what is this? He's not meant to come out for a few days. Suddenly he's just in the hero gallery.
Why is there color on this portrait?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I can click on it. What?
Wait, what?
I swear they're gonna do something gimmicky with it. I can't wait. If they do, even if they don't, I mean, just having Deadpool in the game is just a big draw for like a lot of fans in general.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope for the future for Marvel Rivals and for season 6 and beyond that more people continue to play, continue to get involved, and to pay attention to the esports scene. That is what we need more than anything else, is engagement. And there's no better time, as we were talking about, for MRC, because specifically Americas in general, like, it is the Wild West for rosters. If you have a favorite player, you're going to be able to see them perform to the top level. You can watch in-game, mind you. For those who aren't aware, there's a tournament tab. You can click spectate and watch the matches live as they're happening for your favorite players that are out there. You can also watch their streams. I mean, indulging in the content of these players definitely helps them, especially while they don't have org support. So make sure you keep an eye on the scene as it's developing on that side, and supporting your favorite players, supporting content creators that are putting on all of this to keep people engaged with Marvel Rivals while we wait for whatever the announcement will come for the next year of competition. But that is all the time that we have here. Thank you all for watching Rivals and Rants episode 13. Went a little bit long. We'll be editing some things here and there. We'll have some more in the new year. But for now, have a good holidays and good night.
Subscribe to Vodable.
That's going to be my subscription notification now.
Subscribe or Rogue will put you in a headlock.